who have qualified from their own regions. Total 160 drivers. It's going to be an epic weekend of racing, but now for the format.
Each driver competes in 2 practice and 2 qualifying sessions. Their results from time qualifying sets their grid for the heat race. The results of the heat races sets a driver's position for the pre-final, and the pre-final sets the results for the final. The top 20 drivers in each category make the main event, and the winner of those main events become the first 4 inaugural Rotax Racing Club Finals champions. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That, in a nutshell, is the format and the ethos behind the 2026 Rotax Racing Club Finals. This is Henry Baudet. That's Piers Pryor. Hello, Piers.
Hello, Henry. Great to be here. Karts Silverstone, the host, as you mentioned, of the inaugural Rotax Racing Club Finals. And we've got a hell of a weekend of racing ahead of us.
Yes, we do. Silverstone, Kart Silverstone, is the newest circuit in the global karting community. And it's so fitting that the Rotax Racing Club Finals, the newest event itself in the global karting calendar, and Silverstone are together, because this really is the dawn of a new era. Club 100, the organisers, or rather Rotax Racing Club UK, as they are now known in terms of running the Rotax events, they have been championing this, and they have been the industry leaders for now 3 decades in this rental kart racing for true karting enthusiasts. There are just some of the 100 karts we have here, brand new Birrell chassis, brand new Rotax engines. Absolutely spotless is the entire Club 100 area. The karts all look pristine, a little bit like this venue, Prius.
Absolutely. Brand spanking new, both the venue and also the karts. It's going to be a treat. The circuit has got loads of good reviews from all the drivers that have raced it previously and already this weekend. We've had 2 practice sessions for each driver this morning, which have gone on behind the cameras. But now we are live, and we will be for every moment of racing from this moment forth to the start of the super lightweight Group A qualifying, which will be up in just a few moments, all the way through to crowning our Rotax Racing Club champions. And then Sunday we've got the team trophy as well, so plenty to get your teeth into here on Alpha Live.
Yes, so you are going to be watching this on what number of YouTube channels? The Rotax Racing YouTube channel, the Alpha Live YouTube channel, and I am sure there's going to be, the Rotax Racing YouTube channel and the Alpha Live YouTube channel.
Yes.
So some of the flags of some of the nations that we have here. There are 7 national Rotax Racing Club events, champion series.
Yeah.
So they're
qualifying
events. We're going to have our first race is the stroller race, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there in the red race, that's Jarrett King from the United States giving some driver coaching. Yeah, so you want the outside wheel. Don't let the baby drop the cuddly toy on the outside of that particular, sort of line in the tarmac. So already, Jarrett, who is the Team USA's most decorated qualifier, he has been a champion in many other events of this stature around the year. Since he got into karting back in about 2008, I did some driver coaching work because Jarrett runs the Formula KFX drivers academy, and I was very lucky to do a day with him, helping to coach some of the Formula KFX drivers. You are going to hear, and we can see there, that's double wide move around the outside. This is just a scene that you don't get in other, because of course track walks, no. You have 20 minutes to have a track walk, and that's it. Here, the atmosphere is like, no, go out. These are the real enthusiasts of the sport. Yeah. Go out, we've got a lunch break, enjoy the track. You're at Silverstone. When's the next time you might qualify to race at the centre of British motorsports?
Amazing. It's
soak up every single bit of atmosphere.
And do you know what I think I love about Kart Silverstone is that a lot of modern circuits don't do well is they've added a lot of the heritage. We've got named corners, turn 1, Wellington. We have then stage, we've got Wellington, we've got Brooklands, we've got Maggots and Beckett's Bridge. So many iconic corners on the Grand Prix circuit, sharing their name now with the kart circuit. And they've done a great job with the circuit as well. You saw Jarrett Clark, you talking about the coaching there. So wide is this Silverstone circuit that we have seen in events that have happened here at Kart Silverstone since it opened recently. 3-4 wides regularly. We've seen cutback moves. We've seen some of the best racing I have seen in karting in the UK. Full stop, period, no exceptions. Recently, I think back to the BUKC, British Universities Karting Championship. The Drivers' Championship especially. Henry, we were both there for that at this circuit with the same organisers, and it was incredible. I'm expecting to see a similar level, if not even higher, this weekend.
And there is Ambroise Gary from Formula KFX. I've got his surname wrong. Ambroise Deleroy. He qualified for this event through Formula KFX. You're going to be hearing lots of bits of different terminologies that you normally would hear. For example, Rotax Racing Club. Nicky Richardson, you can just see him in the background, one of Lewis Hamilton's closest rivals during cadets. Nicky Richardson, he's the race director. Then we have got 2 video referees.
Slight correction. Barnaby.
Yes.
Barnaby is the clerk of the course. And then Nicky Richardson and Sam, surname will come back to me.
Sam Taylor.
Sam, yes,
they're the video refs.
They are the video referees.
Okay, so Barnaby Pittingale, he's the race director.
Yes.
So he's on track, and then we've got the video room next to us. Other terms are used in other types of cars, but no, this is for everybody. So they're the video refs.
Absolutely.
You know. Now there is Phil Pegler in the gilet, the white shirt there. He is in charge. You just heard his name mentioned. He is in charge of Rotax Racing Club USA, also known as Formula KFX. In August, and I will say in August, Phil Pegler is organising the first ever Rotax kart race on an oval, but not just any oval, it's a dirt oval in California. The event it's a round of the Rotax Racing Club USA qualifying championship for next year's finals, the America Freedom 250 on a Saturday night at the Lodi Oval in California. I'm lucky enough, I'll be out there to cover that. 72 drivers. Between them, they will cover 250 laps of the oval. The karts, these karts, or not those karts, but the Formula KFX karts, which are Birrell chassis with the Rotax engine, they've been out, they've done extensive testing and have loved it. The karts have loved it. Karts absolutely fine. So yeah, this is the type of thing that Rotax Racing Club, each national club around the world, will be able to give their drivers, their enthusiasts, experiences that no one else can. And it's great to see Guy Sheffield at Al-Ain Raceway is here. We've got the championship organisers from the Chinese Taipei and the Chinese Rotax Racing Club Series here. We've got the Italians here. Now the Italians, they use TB karts. The various Rotax clubs around the world, they don't all use the same Birrell chassis. They all use Rotax products, and each club has the same general, not exact rule set in terms of the exact format, but the rule set and the style that Club 100 have brought to the very, very front of rental kart racing around the world. That is effectively sort of copied, so that every national club, the national clubs, they're all very similar. So the drivers are used to this style. They're used to this style. So Club 100 are going to organise the first 3 editions of the club finals. We're not sure where the next 2 are going to be. They might be here, they might be somewhere else. But yeah, there's a look. And what I've really liked is that the amount of families that are here. We had John Weigel did the driver's briefing this morning.
In his own unique and wonderful style.
In his own unique and wonderful style. And after I opened the briefing, John, first of all, there was a big round of applause just for John coming on stage. And then he said, well done to the drivers who aren't from the UK, have travelled all this way. And there was another round of applause. And the British drivers were like, oh, well done, you've made it. You know, that sort of camaraderie is alien to a lot of people that live in the two-stroke owner-driver bubble. But here, it is very much the norm. And as I walked down to the stage a little bit earlier on, there are a clump of trees, a little grassy patch in the paddock. And they had 4 or 5 different groups of people had set up the deck chairs. They had their race
base
camp under the trees on the grass, and that is a fantastic image of what this of who this event is really designed for. It's for the true karting enthusiasts. In the senior heavyweight, you're going to see racing dentists, you're going to see racing doctors,
accountants,
you're going to see racing accountants,
engineers. The list goes on. I've spoken to a few of the drivers, been getting a scoop behind the scenes of as many of them of what they get up to day to day, because these are not professional racing drivers, these are not professional kart drivers, but make no mistake.
Oh, they're good. They're
they
talented.
are exceptional, especially the ones that we will see at the front in the A finals come Saturday afternoon. The racing you're going to see this weekend, I am going to put my neck out on the line here. You almost won't see better wheel-to-wheel racing than this. Silverstone, Kart Silverstone, Rotax Racing Club, the format, everything lends itself towards exceptional wheel-to-wheel, respectful racing in a great community environment.
Okay, Will, who is the producer for Alpha this weekend, timestamp this at... Right there, what is it?
1:28.
1:28 on Friday, 1:28 p.m., Friday the 29th of May. Henry Baudet agrees wholeheartedly with one of Piers Pryor's karting takes.
That'll be the last time we agree on anything this weekend.
No, because Piers, you are exactly right. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome to the Rotax family, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, the Rotax, the grand finals for the two-strokes. Well, this is the grand finals for the rental kart racers, the enthusiasts, who have tried and fought just as hard as anyone with their own karts to get here, and now they are enjoying it. There is a piece of tarmac on this circuit. It is coming out of turn number 2, going through turn 3. That very piece of tarmac, and all credit to Silverstone for keeping it and not building over it, is the very piece of tarmac that Damon Hill and Michael Schumacher crashed whilst battling for the lead at the 1995 British Grand Prix. And the drivers, these drivers, yes, the racing accountants, the racing dentists, the racing doctors, they're driving over that. And of course they're old enough to remember. Now look at that, there's Jarrett King again. He's got to drive, and he's done his back in as well. He's done his back in as well. He's learning. I said, Jarrett, you've got a dodgy Scylla. What? Scylla Black, you're back. You've got a dodgy Scylla. He's like, what? I was like, you come into the UK, you've got to start learning Cockney rhyming slang, you know.
This is coming from a South Welshman.
Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah. But, you know, I said, what's it like getting at the apples and pears?
Yeah.
And he's looking, he goes, Henry, I haven't got a clue what you're saying. I was like, I don't have a clue what I'm saying most of the time.
Jarrett was helping with a bit of last-minute talk with our drivers who are imminently going to be hitting the track. That is coming up in just a few moments' time. Let's look ahead to that, and it's going to be Junior Super Lightweight, Group A, qualifying 1.
Okay. Piers, I have been Rotax's official speaker now for 14 years. During that time, Rotax have sent me to around the world to commentate on various events, and I'm very grateful. In the last 6 weeks, I have been here, the British University Kart Championship, meeting some of the drivers that we're going to see representing Team UK. I have been to the UAE for their awards night in Al Ain and met some of those drivers and their families. I've been out to the USA to meet some of the American drivers and work a couple of their events. After experiencing those 3 things, more importantly, meeting so many of the people who are here and finding out their stories, their passion. I can say, hand on my heart, timestamp this, I have never been more excited to commentate on a Rotax race than I am at this point now.
Wow.
There are 140 drivers. There are 7 national Rotax racing clubs around the world. The audience that Alpha bring to karting means that these drivers are probably now going to be racing in front of the biggest global audience they have ever raced against. But more importantly, that global audience will see the ethos, will see the concept of Rotax Racing Club.
Yeah.
And they will be banging on the doors. I guarantee you this, for the 2027 Rotax Racing Club finals, there will be far more than just 7 national clubs sending drivers to this event, because this opens the door to karting to the everyman. The people that have got no intention, no desire, no finances to do owner-driver racing, but they love karting and they want to race the highest level. The first of 16 qualifying sessions, the very, very first driver to hit the track. Remember this, ladies and gentlemen, the very first driver to hit the track in an official qualifying session in Rotax Racing Club history was driver number 12, Ambroise Delory, from France initially, Aix-en-Provence, has lived in California. Now look at the gradient. Fantastic. I've got to say, Alpha have been here. You've been working on camera angles to make this circuit look so there. I have a complaint, however, Piers. You see this corner
already?
Here? How come you got this corner named after you?
I'm just such a big deal, Henry.
You know, you're looking at Priory there. I mean, I've been to the Priory, but I've now never raced on Priory.
Yeah, there we go. Absolutely.
So they already Piers Pryor getting a corner.
And something I've already noticed, Henry, interestingly, the drivers they have no choice of which cart they get in.
Yes.
There's carts are lined up. They have to get in the cart in order that they are told to get in via the entry.
Correct.
So the likelihood of any driver getting in the same cart twice throughout this whole event is very slim. But regardless of that, the karts are all very, very... They were tested extensively by the kart testing team at Club 100, and we ride on board already now. And they're all very much within racing tolerance. But also, the number 20 already, you can see how seriously the drivers are taking the racing on circuit. Jonathan Taylor, the number 20,
yes.
He was second or third in the row, immediately pulled over and let everyone through. He thought, I want to get the right space on circuit. I want to get a nice toe, because I've been hearing from the drivers, a toe around here is worth somewhere between half a second and 0.8 of a second per lap.
Wow. That, you know what? I'm not surprised. You know, this circuit, nearly 1,400 metres, 18 corners, but you have got you've got the start, finish, or the run out of the final corner. A
couple of hundred metres.
Oh, yeah. But then, you know, down the back, coming out of turn number 10, out of your corner, Piers. No, that's turn number 8, bridge, and up that hill through
Express.
Through Express. We'll take you through it. One of the breaks, I will take the audience through the meaning of the curbs. Now, of
should we stay on board for a lap and show everyone this kart Silverstone circuit?
Here we go then, here's a lap.
Absolutely. Let's ride on board. We go down the very, very long start-finish straight. Over to the right-hand side, we're opening up what is a slightly banked, open, late apex Wellington corner, turn 1. That's all we'll see. The drivers go side by side. Through turn 2 at stage, and then Jimmy's curve, this little left kink for, of course, Jimmy Clark. Then we head down to turn 4, an overtaking opportunity through Brooklands. Now the world famous on the Grand Prix circuit, but now famous in Kart Silverstone, Maggots and Beckett section.
Oh, look at that.
Over the curb, we then go towards Bridge. Big braking zone down at Bridge corner. Banked on the way in, downhill through the apex, and then go uphill. Now we're flat out through Express, going towards, as you mentioned, Henry, my corner, Priory. Then we enter into a very, very technical section of the circuit now. Turn 11, Club. Quickly comes up Ireland, the left. Tower, the right. Then we have the two S corners, two hairpins back to back. Seagrave is the right here as we get overtaken by a BRL-ART suited driver, and then Seaman the left. Off camber this one, very tricky, very easy to run wide at the exit. The little left kink as we go through wing curve before the last real challenge on the circuit. That's Museum. Don't run too wide, the curve will drag you off the exit, and then the last little left kink for Farm Curve. That's nearly, as you mentioned, 1,400 metres of flat-out racing action. The drivers have all been getting used to in practice and will continue to master throughout this qualifying and races tomorrow.
Brilliant. Thank you. Well, thank you to Alpha Live for providing us with not one, not two, but 3 different onboard cameras that you will see. It will be on different drivers. Of course, I didn't know that the one disadvantage. Now here is something that we again talk about new terminology. That driver has just crashed, but also will be getting a reprimand for cone abuse.
Yes.
This is something, kids, don't do cones. It's bad. So the warning system, the penalty system in Rotax Racing Club, yes, there are cones on circuit because these aren't, the karts do not belong to the drivers, they belong to Club 100. The same as every Rotax Racing Club event, the drivers don't bring their own karts, it's the circuits. So certain curbs are strictly off limits. They are protected by some of the bravest soldiers that have ever stepped foot on a kart circuit. The Club 100 cones.
They get a fair amount of abuse.
Already we've got 2 fallen soldiers on the circuit.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're a few minutes in. This is a nice long qualifying session, which allows us to waffle and tell a few stories, but then it allows us to get into the nitty-gritty. See, RIP cone on the outside of the circuit. And thank you for your service. That was, yes, Matteo Ehrenfuchter. Because, of course, the only disadvantage to having all the karts looking the same is that when you're on board, you can't tell which driver it is because they're all the same karts. Yeah. Now, let's have a look. Logan McAllister. First 2 flying laps are in the books, Piers.
Yep.
109.928. Now, these are the junior super lights. Drivers are not... So the 2 junior classes, as Piers explained, the weights in the junior classes in our little explainer video, the drivers are not separated on age. You could have the oldest junior driver in this class because the oldest junior driver is still 5'3". And you could have the youngest driver in juniors. They could be in lights because they're 6 foot and therefore they weigh more. So that's how the junior and the senior classes are divided in terms of super lights and lights, and then seniors and heavies.
Yeah, absolutely, Henry. And we're looking at Logan McAllister at the moment, the number 95. Very, very fast driver indeed. He was the one that hit the ground running fastest this morning in practice. He was fastest, only by a measly 300th of a second over Finley Strang, who currently sits in 11th place. But he was quick this morning. He's a driver that's got both Club 100 in the UK, or Rotax Racing Club in the UK experience, but he's also raced in Honda Cadets before as well. So he's a driver that's bridged both owner-driver and rental kart racing. His 4 years he's done in the UK racing in Club 100. He's done cadet for a year, a couple or 3 seasons now of the junior super lightweights. He was cadet champion in 2023, so knows his way around a rental kart, and was also last year's junior super lightweight Club 100 Rotax Racing Club UK champion. And
that's how he got his ticket to race here. Now, you just saw those 2 drivers, the number 11 of Edgar Azevedo and the number 95, who we mentioned. There's your current pole sitter, young Mr. McAllister, Logan McAllister. Turn number 4 is going to be at Brooklands. That corner is going to see some fantastic overtaking. It really, really is. There are a good dozen overtaking opportunities on this circuit, and the Rotax Racing
per lap.
Yes. And the drivers during the course of the next 2.5 days, well, they will investigate and try and find another dozen or so.
Well, they do well to find 24 around a circuit with 18 corners.
What, you got coming in and going out?
Do you know what, Henry? Do you know what, Henry? Fair play. You're absolutely right about that. Jack Bromham actually has jumped up ahead. He's got a fastest time at the moment by nearly 2.5 tenths. But when you consider that the rest of the grid, half a second takes you down to 8th place, a second takes you down to 16th. That's a pretty good lap out front there. Some track limit warnings coming in for drivers who are going up to the end of the circuit and beyond a little bit.
Mason Turner gets a track limit. Now, they're not going to be happy with that down at Team Sport Bristol, which is where he began his career. And this is something, you know, when we talk about driver bios, Piers, you know, the level of experience or the places that these drivers have named as where they are new, not new to me, but you don't normally see them on a, like the last time, I can't remember the last time I talked about Team Sport Bristol in an owner driver race. No. You know, but Team Sport, the UK's largest sort of conglomerate of indoor karting tracks, Team Sport Bristol, that is where Jack Bromham started for Sam Morse.
Track limit penalty. That will mean resulting in him a grid drop, I would imagine. Well, actually, let's explain things. This is the first of 2 qualifying sessions for these drivers. They will take their fastest lap from the qualifying sessions, and that will form the grid for their heat that will come tomorrow. But the drivers, they don't want to be getting penalties, but it will start affecting their race weekend from this moment.
Exactly. There are 20 drivers in this session. Just to go through the Piers is going to go down to capture our first on-track interview. Just to give you an idea, in this class alone, Portugal, United Kingdom, United States are all represented. We have got drivers from China, Wei Li Zhu from China. We've got drivers representing France, South Africa, Germany, Switzerland, Chinese Taipei, and the island of Taiwan, as well as drivers from Poland. Now, those nations don't all have their own national racing club, but of course drivers do drive far and wide to go to one of the 7, one of the 7 national clubs that are currently running. Cone penalty for our onboard camera driver, Matteo Ehrenfuchter. You will see TL on the screen, that is track limits. ABC, advantage by contact. DEF is, are you deaf? We've given you an ABC penalty. No, I'm joking. That is not a real thing, but I thought it might just make one or two of you laugh. There are different terminologies that we use. Yes, we don't have camera stewards. We have video referees. All these things, because sometimes karting can get so into itself with what we use to describe officials and describe racing, that it means, people, in that little racing bubble know what they all mean. But for the, quite frankly, billions of people that aren't, this is, their sport. And we will, modify where we can to make the global terms for Rotax Racing Club events a little bit just easier and friendlier, a little bit more user-friendly, because the senior class, and we're going to get into the whole argument, I'm sure, about the standard of driving. The standard of driving is one thing. It's excellent. But, these are amateur enthusiasts, and they go to work Monday to Friday. They could do anything with their weekends. They choose to go Rotax Club Racing, Rotax Racing Club Racing. Here we go, Logan McAllister. Well, if Amouaz Delori made history by being the first driver ever to get out onto the circuit in an official qualifying session, then Logan McAllister, driver number 95 from England, the Daytona Cadet and Junior former Daytona Cadet and Junior champion. He is your provisional pole sitter for qualifying 1 Group A. Jack Bromham, second fastest. William Harvey, third. Ty Dewis Sherlock, Mason Turney in top 5. Joshua Robinson, George de Guide, Matteo Ehrenfuchter, Finley Strang, and the top 10 rounded out by Miles Harrison. Kerdine Mameri, 11th pass ahead of Alex Rattan. Ambroise Delori, Zachary Belch, Angela Galimi, Louis Munford, Jack Yates, Jan Lakota, Sam Morse, and Jonathan Taylor, top 20. But Piers Pryor is somewhere down in pit lane speaking to one of our drivers.
Yes. And we'll have our junior lightweight Group A drivers.
Henry, thank you so much. I'm down here. I'm going to grab a word with our fastest driver from Super Lightweight Junior, qualifying 1, Logan. Come on over, Logan McAllister, the driver that was fastest in the first practice session this morning. Come this side for me, Logan. Fastest in practice this morning, fastest in the first qualifying session. That must be a good feeling.
Yeah, I'm kind of confused. I don't feel like I hooked up a great lap, to be honest, but I'm very pleased now that I know that I'm fastest, so yeah.
You must be feeling good now, thinking, right, I'm in a good place. Can you push on in the second qualifying session as well?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I've got a few more tenths in my lap, so yeah. It'll just be about finding the right traffic to work with and going from there, really.
The toe seems strong around here.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it doesn't seem like much of a headwind going back down there, but you definitely gain a lot while sitting behind someone.
Thank you very much, Logan. Our fastest driver in qualifying 1. Qualifying 2 has already started, so I'll hand back to Henry.
Thank you, Piers. That was short and sweet, just like Piers. Okay, the remaining 20 Superlights for juniors are on track, led by Edgar Azevedo, Jules Larkin, Lewis Tracy, Paige Martin, Jensen Barnard, Wei Yi Zhu, James Wall, Ellis McKenzie, Leo Anderson, Fawaz Adra, Connor Nathan, Zuan Breitenbach, Kieran Stedman, Aidan Beaumont, Sam Burnell, Caitlin Steppenbach, Chen Suye, Tyler Tobes, Charlie France, and Zach Sharif. They are your 20 drivers in Junior Superlight Group B qualifying 1. Now, I cannot see the live chat feature on YouTube. I will have a look. I'm sure there's lots of nice people on there. Please keep your comments coming in. Where you're watching from. What circuit do you think, would you like to see get a Rotax Racing Club, a Rotax Racing National Club? Already here on Friday morning, we've got 300 people watching, this live broadcast. Thank you so much. We have got people, the comments coming in on YouTube, Piers. Hello to Harry Power, driver that has, we're supporting Harry Power on the Bump Draft podcast on Slipstream because we had a feature about cool driver names. And Harry Power, that's a pretty cool driver. So glad you're on board, Harry. Looking down the rest of the thing, we've got NX Flame, say hello. Johnny Chen, lots of support for Chinese Taipei and the island of Taiwan. A lot of support for Josh Robinson, who's just been out to qualify as well, from his mum, of course. Looking down, again, thank you for all your comments. Just keep, keep the comments coming in. Keep them positive. Keep them positive, keep them supportive. Everybody has, who got beaten for a ticket to this race are watching and supporting back home. I know that because, I've spoken to the drivers here and they said, we're getting messages from our rivals saying good luck, which is, very, very good indeed. Now, we are, so it's a lot of support for Team Sport Bristol getting a mention on the live stream. Thank you very much indeed for all your comments. Keep them coming in. Hello to Vinny C Racing, who is usually, Vinny has to watch his karting from school on silent. Well, a little bit low, maybe with one AirPod in. But enough of that. We're halfway through this qualifying session. Portugal, Edgar Azevedo leads the way at the moment. A 109.9 Piers Pryor.
Yep. Well, the pole for the previous session, fastest was Logan McAllister, who we just spoke to, 109.42. Second in that last session was a 109.56. So we're getting closer and closer. In theory, this session should be a very, very similar speed because these are the same group of drivers and the same weight category. This is separately Group B. There's no real distinction between them. We just needed to halve our grid of 40 drivers to get 20 on circuit at a time. There's no ranking in terms of that grouping. It's fairly random as we ride on board with one of our onboard drivers now. This is Aidan Beaumont, the 76 driver from, I think, South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, the 76.
Yes.
Making his way through turn 4, which is Brooklands. Now, as we head through Maggots and Beckett's, I'm hearing from the drivers that this is only just not quite flat out.
Oh, well, you can see Mr. Wall there almost hits one.
Yeah.
That was very, very close indeed. Very, very quickly, sorry, Piers, I want to say hello to, you got to be joking, Bob, who is watching from New South Wales, which is, modelled on my South Wales, only slightly warmer.
Nicer.
Warmer. More people get eaten by sharks off the coast of New South Wales. They get eaten by sharks off the coast of Old South Wales. So make of that what you will. Now, Bob, in New South Wales, if you want a driver to cheer for, I will introduce to you senior heavy driver number. Let's get him out. We'll keep it. Nearly 4 minutes to go. Where is our senior? Greg Watt. Greg Watt is senior heavy driver number 67. He lives in the UAE, but he's an Aussie. And this is, Greg is he's just a great, great guy. He races Rotax two-stroke racing, he races DD2 Masters, and yet he races this as well, because he is a true enthusiast. Very popular driver in the two-stroke paddock, and he's got his ticket here. So this is his big, because he's not qualified for a big global tour, a big global event like this before. And here he is. So, Bob, in New South Wales, you've got an Aussie potentially to cheer for.
Just looking at Edgar Azevedo, who's currently sitting in second place, only a 10th and a half behind our pole sitter, goes over the line, improves his time, but not his position. He improves his final sector time, not his position. So still there seems to be a bit of time out there. The good thing about the karts that we have this weekend, the Burley ART chassis with the Dunlop tyres on, is they are designed to be quick over a run. There's not just one absolute flying lap on the first run, so therefore you've got time to go out there. You've got time to find your space, whether that is clear air for the perfect run through the corners or whether it is to tow up to the back of another driver to get a nice little bit of extra speed on the straight. And you can roll 2, 3, 4 laps, building, finding more time, finding more space to push, assessing the circuit conditions as you go. And therefore we see generally the times fastest on the last few laps of the run.
Yes, indeed. When I say Jay Barnard, I think that John Barnard he used to work for Ferrari and design Ferrari and McLaren Formula 1 cars. No, it's Jensen Barnard. There's probably a Taylor Barnard as well, who's in Formula E as well, but no. Jensen Barnard now gets passed by, on screen, number 10. That was the fastest lap of the session so far. Looking down the order.
It was, and then it was immediately eclipsed again by Jensen Barnard.
Yeah, Jensen Barnard. I'm going to call him John Barnard or Jensen Button at least 3 times over the course of the next 2 days. Jules Larkin from Scotland. Now, it's strange, drivers are you can have the flag that you represent. Interesting. The UK, sometimes they're just UK, others not, we're English. There's a couple of Scots. Jules Larkin, obviously, and of course there are a couple of Welsh flags as well. Mr. Beaumont. So it's called the South African Championship, Red Bull Kart Championship, that uses Rotax engines. It's not an official National Rotax Racing Club yet. It starts this year, where that'll be RRC South Africa, for example.
A big handful of oversteer there from the 27 of Jensen Barnard.
That's
currently fastest driver.
time.
Oh, Azevedo's gone to the top again, pulls himself a 10th and a half clear.
And that slide, maybe for Barnard, meant that he doesn't overhaul him. This is going to be the start of the final flying lap, Spears.
It is. Also, Jules Larkin, who currently sits in third place, our Scottish driver there on the left-hand side of screen in the timing tower. Very fast indeed, only 2.5 tenths away from the fastest lap of this session. However, already has 2 penalties in this session. A cone penalty just a few moments ago, and earlier on in the session also another cone penalty. So drivers really need to be avoiding these cones because it will have impacts on their grid positions.
And the punishment will be getting his fastest 2 laps taken off him, or
I believe so. We'll double check on that, but we'll come back to you.
What singular cone abuse is certainly your best lap of the session. I would, a double cone abuse, a serial offender. Maybe obviously that'll be more. Checkered flag is out. Can anybody beat Edgar Azevedo? What about number 27, Jensen Barnard? Here he comes out of the final corner. Tucks down behind the NASA panel. Crosses the line. Does he improve? The answer is no. He does not. Edgar Azevedo takes pole position in Junior Superlights Group B qualifying 1. There is a look at the other drivers crossing the line. James Wall, 60. Tyler Tobes crossing the line. White crash helmet there. He moves into 10th position. As you look at the provisional results, already the next group of drivers for the 3rd qualifying session. This will be Junior Lights, Group A, sat in the pits. Great drive there, number 44, Fawaz Adra. Talk about Fawaz Adra. And again, a really nice story, nice young man, have to say. Charlie France, 17th there. There's Chen Xiu-Ye from Taipei and Taiwan. Zuan Breitenbach from South Africa, 19th. And Zach Sharif, 20th. Good driver, Paige Martin up there. And Wei Li Zhu also qualifying quite well. The track is clear. The first group of drivers come in and we watch. And again, look, you can see that's not, I think, just look at the on the right hand side, that roof that is sort of like, trickling out of view behind the big lighting stand. So then you've got the trees to give you an idea of the various amounts of undulations that we have here. One driver pitting on the left-hand side of your screen. You are allowed to pit after 1 lap, change karts, and now Piers is down with one of our drivers.
Yep, junior super lightweight group B, fastest driver, Mr. Azevedo. Good session, fastest of the session, very close at the front. How was that for you?
It was pretty simple, just make a gap and try my best, but yeah, it clearly worked out, so I'm very happy.
You were quick in practice this morning. Did you know that you were going to have the pace to go fastest in your group?
Yeah, I knew if I did what I did in practice, I'll be fine, so yeah, it was really good.
Can you replicate that in the second session?
100%, yeah, that's my goal.
Absolutely, there you go. Congratulations, our fastest driver in Group B of the Super Lightweights. Let's have a look now at the first Group A of the Junior Lightweights.
Thank you very much, Piers. So, like in every class, our 40 junior lights have been split into 2 groups of 20. This group has got Jacob Barples, Jamie Tyler Gooden, Callum Boot, Jonas Klimas, Ollie Brunel-White, Morgan Humphreys, David Sneesko, Ashton Wolger, Tom Justice, Anthony Roberts, James McLaughlin, Mason Watson, Sam Chilton, Enzo Ricciardi, Jaden Giles, Finn Irons, Seth Dodes, Leela Kaufman, and Spencer Rust. Spencer Rust with the sort of Dutch family heritage. Now, let's pick up the number 20 kart coming out of Priory there. That's Jacob Marples. This should be interesting. Jacob Marples raced in the British Kart Championship in Junior X30, but dovetails his owner-driver career with this in the Rotax Racing Club. This we're about to see. Now, Jacob Marples, yeah, he is a decent runner in the British Championship. Let's see how he stacks up against, or as part of, a rental kart grid, an enthusiast kart grid. He's obviously done well enough to qualify for this event. Henry, who has got the who has the best lid in Club 100? I don't know. I'm not sure, Harry. I have to go and check. Well, I believe that Rihanna Percox, who we'll see in the team trophy, had an Iron Brew crash helmet. She's my spirit animal. There we go. That's that game over. That was a short competition.
Other caffeinated, carbonated drinks are available.
They are. They're just not as tasty as Iron Brew. Iron Brew. There we are. Well, I've got. I mean, there are people here from countries where Iron Brew isn't even sold, believe it or not. So I've got to spread the word. Marples is fastest. It's not for all the marbles yet. It's only in qualifying. The number 95, looking at, that would be Ollie Brunel White. And kart number 56, just easing over to one side. That was Mason Watson, signalling the faster driver through. And it is Daniel Sneezko who has gone fastest. Number 39, a 110.1. Now the 109, the super lights were the 109s. The lights, obviously, different weight limit.
10 kilos heavier.
10 kilos heavier.
Yeah.
It's a really good insight into how much 10 kilos cost you around here. You will see the difference between the pole times is effectively what 10 kilograms costs you.
Yeah. We were looking at low 110s in practice for our junior lightweights.
Yes.
110.0 was in the first practice session. Then I think we might have snuck into a 9. Let me just double check again. But yeah, effectively the same karts, just a different minimum weight limit for the drivers with their race gear and any additional ballast, so they can weigh up to the weight limit.
Yes.
So if you are slightly less than, there's, and one great thing actually by the Rotax Racing Club UK and Club 100s, they are providing a shared weight system, so drivers don't have to fly around the world with kilos and kilos and kilos of ballast.
Yes.
They can turn up at the event with their race gear and use the lead, maybe it's not lead, it's ballast available, and there's an example of how tricky it is to get through that Maggots and Beckett's chicane.
Callum Boots, kart control, take a bow. Sorry, that was, as you were saying, yeah. So 10 kilos, you're not carrying lead around the world because, you turn up an airport. Sir, your bag weighs 57 kilograms. Are you aware that the flight case weight limit is 23 kilograms? What have you got in there? Oh, just 30 kilos of lead weight. Doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, exactly that, Henry, exactly that. There are 2 weight posts on the left-hand side of the karts, which drivers can put their weight or ballast onto, and also they are able to have seat inserts which have ballast added to it as well for drivers to weigh up to the minimum weight. And generally drivers will try and be aim for a kilo over the minimum weight limit to be not giving any time away on circuit in terms of extra ballast, because any weight added is removing lap time, but you need yourself a little contingency because it's physical stuff out there, Henry. The drivers are working hard. We're in a bit of a heat wave here in the United Kingdom. Yesterday was hotter, but we're still in the mid-20s today here at Kart Silverstone, Northamptonshire, in the centre of the UK, centre of England. And a bit of sweat definitely will be coming off the brows and bodies of these young...
Rivulets of sweat running down the foreheads of some of our sort of less of some of our, maybe some of the senior heavies who are, they've looked at the condition of a peak physical athlete, because that was the peak physical athlete that was on the wall on the way to the buffet. I'm joking, but yeah, you do. As a driver, you tend to leave a good half a kilo to 3/4 of a kilo, and this is for sweat, sweating during a race, and sometimes drivers get a little bit nervous, a little bit nervous before the start of a race, and they need a pre-race wee.
Yes.
And I have known drivers be excluded for being like 10 grams underweight, and they literally, that was an expensive pee.
Can I just point out quite how close and tight the grid is at the moment?
Yes.
Half a tenth, half a second taking down to 10th place. Also interestingly enough, fastest lap time in practice this morning was from Anthony Roberts in the first of the practice sessions, a 1:10.011. Dawid Sneezko has done in this session a 1:10.011, identical to the fastest lap time we have seen in this category this weekend so far.
And that'll be in a different kart.
Absolutely.
Different driver, because look, you can't tell which karts are which.
No, they are, for all intents and purposes, identical. Brand new Rotax engines this weekend, all have been tested. Brand new Burl ART chassis, all have been tested. Brand new Dunlop tyres for practice and qualifying today.
Yep.
All the karts have done exactly the same number of laps, give or take 1 or 2.
Yeah, so that's the thing. The kart rotation system is integral, but it's a model.
The fuel levels are identical between karts. The brake wear is identical between karts. These karts are as close as humanly, physically, and mechanically possible, identical.
Yes, they are. And again, so it comes down to may the best driver win.
Yes.
May the best driver win. Now, there is the number 19. Is that the best driver? Well, yes, it is in this session alone. Jamie Tyler Gooden.
Tylee Gooden.
Jamie Tylee Gooden, yes, Tylee. So I'm getting my Tyler Thomases and my Tylees mixed up here. 109.829 for Tylee Gooden.
Jamie is no stranger to the front end of a kart race. He was both the winner of both the super lightweight in 2024 and then the lightweight in 2025 in the Rotax Racing Club UK Kart, Club 100 karting. Went back-to-back champions in successive classes. He's also the 2025 D-Max champion in the UK. They also use Rotax engines, and also took pole here in the Club 100 round earlier on this season at this very circuit. So a man in form and a man who knows this circuit as well. So no doubt he's going to be at the front, and no surprise that he's leading the way at this stage. First driver in this category to go under 110 as well.
I mean, apart from the staff, I would say that makes that driver one of the most experienced drivers of all here at Silverstone. Club 100 was the very first event here at Silverstone, very first karting, official karting event. Champions the Future, so we get a weekend afterwards. You've had the British University Kart Championship, you've had the Silverstone 24 Hours here as well. So if you have been able to compete in 3 events here at Silverstone, well, they've only done about 4 major karting events. You're in good stead. You're in very good stead.
Very good. Can I point out, for those who are watching, you're watching the fastest driver in this category at the moment, as the session just finishes. Look at how smooth on the controls Jamie Tylee Gooden is.
Yes, to talk about, drivers that don't look like they're steering the wheel are the drivers, where in owner driver racing, they've got their setup worked out. And of course, you don't set the kart up in this. There's no engineering involved. It's just plug and play. So you saw, moving the steering wheel not very much. Tylee Gooden with a lap of 109.825, hangs on. Jacob Marples, P2. Sneezko, Ricciardi, Roberts, the top 5. Jonas Klimas, another owner driver standout. Brunel White, Humphreys, Boot, Justice, Wolger, Chilton, Dodds, Saunders, Wilkes, Watson, Giles, McLaughlin, Eons, Kaufman and Rust. They are your provisional finishing order for Junior Lights Group A qualifying 1. A glance at the provisional standings. Obviously afterwards any post-race penalties will be put in, although to give the organisers credit, Manuel, to give the organisers a lot of credit, they are allowing the penalty system. There's a review board. That's where you've got the video refs to double check penalties, because you can get penalties dished out literally, mid-race here. So you've got race director Barry Pittergale, Nikki and Sam, Nikki Richardson, Sam Taylor are video referees. Now the track clears. Well, this part of the track is clear because already the next group of junior lights are on circuit. They didn't even wait to listen to a Piers Pryor interview, but that's okay, ladies and gentlemen, because you get to listen to it now.
Absolutely that, Henry. Group A of the junior lightweight has just happened. Jamie Tiley-Gooden, we followed him for the last lap or so. Jamie, a great start to your Rotax Racing Club finals weekend. Fastest in that session by a good margin as well, 10th and a bit. It looked like you did it without a tow as well.
Yeah, I was out there at the front by myself. I felt like I really drove the wheels off that car and maximised what I could do. So yeah, pretty happy.
Jamie, we spoke about your experience. You know karts very similar to this. You took pole here earlier on this year in Club 100 racing. You're repeating it again today. Must be like a good feeling to be able to turn up and repeat the form that you've had previously.
Yeah, it feels good to come back here. Obviously, slightly less restricted karts, but yeah, I feel pretty confident at the moment. But there's still to play for.
Does that take the pressure off a little bit for the next session?
Yeah, it takes the pressure off because I've already got one good lap time in. But we'll see how we go in the next quali.
Jamie, good start to the weekend. We'll see how you get on. Right, let's have a look at Group B.
Thank you very much, Piers. Well, you're not looking at much at the moment, but you're going to see 20 karts come into view very shortly. Well, a little bit of ways away. There they are, coming into that view. They're heading towards the switchback section. That's Seagrave and Seaman. Now, the long run. It's the final corner, and then through. Well, the background is the final corner. The last real corner of name is Museum, and then Farm Curve leads you onto the straight. Officially, that's turn number 18, but it's a flat-out kick. Now, here we go. Who are we on board with? This is going into Jimmy's curve. Now, here's the first flash, but you've got to angle the corner. The entrance, the apex, miss the cones, and head down towards Bridge. There's Bridge, Express, up the hill. Great run by our onboard driver. Are we going to make the move at the inside into Priories? The answer is not this time. Piers is getting his steps in today, ladies and gentlemen. Dashing, for your viewing pleasure only, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, dashing down 2 stories to get to the pit lane and then dashing back up here. No wonder his calves are the size of watermelons.
I don't know what cars you're looking at, Henry. Mine look like peas.
It's radio. I can don't spoil it, Piers. Don't spoil it. As the
mystery of telly still prevails.
The svelte yet muscular angled jawline of Piers Pryor, who has a face for TV, rocks up here, and I have the face for radio.
I was about to say, we haven't seen you on camera. I know we have seen you on camera today, Henry.
Yes, I'm around.
Should we talk about the racing?
How about we do some go-karting?
Right, so Max Sheldon Hayward currently leads the way, 1:10.3. So drivers just getting the tyres up to temperature. One feature of these Rotax Racing Club karts is because the tyres are designed to last for at least a day's racing, that they take a little longer than maybe a softer tyre that you may be used to in other forms of karting to get to temperature. A few laps indeed, and it's not like an out the pitch and you can hit the track and be your fastest lap. That's why we tend to see the fastest lap times towards the end of these sessions, these qualifying sessions. But it gives the drivers, as we mentioned, a little bit of an opportunity to build up to their fast lap, really dial in the session, feel how the circuit has changed since earlier on. We've had sunshine, we've had overcast, and that slight change in track temperature. Drivers also running wide and dragging dust onto the circuit also affects things slightly as well. So we're riding on board now. Let's have an on-board lap again here at the Silverstone circuit. Look how much circuit the drivers are using into turn 1, all the way out to the tyre wall to open up the entry. Flat out we head through turn 2 and 3. That's Stage and Jimmy's, and then into Brooklands. Open entry, nips up at the exit, slightly off camber. Very easy to run wide there. Can we go flat out through Maggots and Beckett's? Not quite. just a small lift through there. As the grip comes up throughout this race event, I expect drivers to get closer and closer to be able to go flat out through there without scrubbing off too much speed. Interestingly enough, I was chatting to some of the American contingent who are racing with us at this event, and they were saying that they reckon it's quicker not to go flat out through that chicane, because if you go flat out, you end up sliding the rear and scrubbing more speed than you actually gain from staying wide open on the throttle. We go through the technical section now. This is probably the most, well, it's definitely the slowest part of the circuit here as we go through Seagrave the right and Siemens the left. But often, counterintuitively, the slower corners tend to be where the lap time can be won and lost. You spend so much longer in a slow corner that if you are 1 kilometre an hour down, for example, through the corner, that 1 kilometre lasts a lot longer than, for example, this quick entry of turn 1. You enter the corner, and because you're going so fast, you already exit. And that's a great idea of what these drivers are having to tackle here at Kart Silverstone in these Rotax Racing Club karts. Looking at the 22 and 28 there in this junior lightweight Group B, the 22 being Jamie Riches and the 28 Josh Melling. We head downhill now as we head over towards Bridge Corner. Very subtle camber changes all over this circuit, the least subtle of which, the biggest change in elevation throughout a corner, is that corner we just went through, Bridge Corner. Priory, it's then followed by Club. Island is the left, Tower is the right, and then we head into, once again, Seagrave and Seaman. Interesting to see, we've got a little group forming here in the final sector. The driver's looking for a toe to try and get a little bit of extra speed, use the low pressure air of the driver in front to pull them down the straight. We've heard from some of the drivers, they reckon it's worth anywhere between half a second to 0.8 of a second per lap if you get the toe absolutely right, and it can both help your session in terms of qualifying if you find yourself a nice driver in front to follow, or potentially hinder, because the driver in front makes a mistake, you then also inherit that loss of lap time. We look back to the timing screen on the left-hand side. It is still Sheldon Haywood that leads the way in this Group B of the lightweight category. Reminder, these junior drivers, 18 years and under, most of which are 17 and under. 70 kilos for this lightweight category, 60 kilos for the super lightweights we had a moment ago. And those drivers, that includes race gear and ballast. Heading through the technical middle sector once again. Interesting, there's a difference in lines between some drivers I found, having watched practice earlier on and keeping an eye on qualifying as well. Through the exit of Priory, there's a flat serrated curb on the outside there, white it is. Some drivers choosing to carry more speed through the apex of Priory, run that curb, and that curb tends to hurt your exit speed, but if you can offset that loss in exit speed with more speed through the slow corner, it can work for you. But other drivers choosing to sacrifice a bit of apex speed in return for some more exit speed as we head over the line once again. Have we had any changes? Yes. Jake Dilworth Parrott goes up to third place. Only temporarily, Dan Griffin then jumps up into third place. So still a 10-2-8-9 for Sheldon Haywood at the front. Leo Engels very closely behind him. Dan Griffin and Ollie White. Just as I say that, Ollie White jumps to the front of the field. Ollie White in the number 44. Ollie, 17-year-old driver from Basingstoke in the UK. He's a driver that's experienced in both hire kart racing, Rotax Racing Club UK, and also races senior Rotax. He's raced at Forest Edge and circuits like that. Has a 2-year experience in karts such as these. He's raced in the junior lightweights. He's made A finals before, and also he enjoys his endurance karting in teams these days. Recently came 4th in the Buckmore Park 24-hour, one of the largest and most well-attended 24 hours in the UK. So he's a driver that's on form at the moment, had a lot of racing experience recently and has just popped it into pole position, the number 44. And he also is sporting a Lewis Hamilton-inspired helmet from the 2021-ish season and sporting the number 44 in his kart, so clearly a fan of the most decorated Formula One driver of all time, who is famously a big fan of the Silverstone venue.
Yes, he is.
So the 44 goes well round here, regardless of whose hands it is in.
Very good, very good. Now, I was being corrected. I will make innumerable errors when it comes to driver name pronunciation this week. I'm only a professional. I've only been doing it for 20 years. But no, if you're in the paddock, and I know you can hear myself and Piers, hello in the paddock, and if I am mullering your driver's name, please, when I pop out, as is my wont, to check the weather every once in a while. Please let us know, because I mentioned about Ambrose Delorey. Well, it's not Ambrose Delorey, it's Ambroise Doularoy, and that has driven me Doulali, getting his name wrong. So I'm sorry, Ambrose Doularoy, but again, having a lot of fun with the drivers and their families.
All the while, the times keep tumbling. It's Ollie White still with that 110.202, but you drop 1/10 of a second, Henry. You're off the first couple of rows.
Exactly.
So close.
Look at that. Yeah, 2/10 between the number 44 and Hamilton. 2/10 of a second between the number 44 and Hamilton. Now I'm going to get triggered in a minute. Drivers waving their hands to show displeasure. Mark it down for the next episode of Bump Draft. Unpopular opinion. There's the difference. Now, there in the foreground, you have the owner of the Italian Championship there, Guy Sheffield, in the Abu Dhabi Sports Council coat. Guy runs Al Ain Raceway. He is the Rotax importer distributor for the United Arab Emirates. He's the organizer of the UAE Rotax Max Challenge, and he is the promoter of Rotax Racing Club UAE. Here at Silverstone, look at that wide expanse of tarmac as Ollie White, 110.202. Ollie White takes pole position. Junior Lights, Group B, qualifying 1. So 4 of 16 qualifying sessions done and dusted. Leo Engels, Max Sheldon Haywood, Dan Griffin, Zach Watson, Jake Dilworth Parrott, Josh Melling, and then Benjamin Hamilton, the top 8. Thomas Welsford and Jamie Riches. Jamie Riches. Well, Jamie Riches, another great story. Jamie Riches, driver number 22. Yes, learning the art, like as Piers was saying, learning the art of racing, junior Rotax at the Kart Championships and at Fiat Paul Fletcher International. That's according to his bio that he has sent us. His dad is competing in the Essex Strongman competition coming up. So again, really interesting backgrounds for some of these drivers that we're meeting for the first time here on Alpha Live and on the Rotax Racing Championship. Speaking of first time, it's the first time for everything. This could be the first time that I send a link down to Piers Priors within 30 seconds of producer Will telling me to. Take it away, Piers.
About time, Henry. Thanks so much, mate. We're going to grab a word with lightweight junior Group B fastest driver, Ollie White. Ollie, you came in the pits shaking your head, and then you just said to me off camera, "Oh, I accidentally put it on pole."
I thought that was terrible, but apparently it wasn't.
Very much not terrible. Pole fastest in this group, 300s clear. Pretty good.
I'll take it.
Why did you think it wasn't a good session? Because it clearly was fast out there for you.
Because I kept holding back because I kept catching people up, and then I thought, I haven't set a good enough lap here, and well, apparently I have.
Well, do you reckon there's more in the tank then for your second session?
Yeah, 100%.
How much more do you reckon? Give us an indication.
A couple of tenths maybe.
Couple of tenths. That would take you down into the 1:09s. So that would be good, wouldn't it? Well, that's our fastest driver from lightweight Group B. Let's have a look at the first of our seniors.
The track sits in silence. The ambient noise you hear off camera, well, on the main circuit, no, that's the main circuit, on the Formula One circuit, the support classes, they are currently doing some practice sessions. The support classes that we have for Rotax Racing Club this year include radicals. I've seen some TCR touring cars out there, some classic touring cars and some classic sports cars. So nice of all those championships to come here just to do some practice and be the support classes for the Rotax Racing Club finals. Centre of your screen, orange, one of the three gentlemen, the middle of the three gentlemen with the orange blazers, that is John Weigel. He's there at the back right-hand side of your screen there, and the slightly taller grey-haired gentleman in the orange. John is the boss. John is the ringleader, the ringmaster. He has cultivated a relationship between championship organizer and customer that, I will say this, I have worked for dozens of championships, still do. The relationship that John Weigel has with his drivers is almost unequaled in the world. He can black flag you from a race. He can say that you're a disgrace to your family. And you turn around and go, thanks, John, no problems, I'm sorry. And you walk off thinking, what a nice guy. But seriously, he has a very, very close and unique relationship in karting because he understands that these are the enthusiasts. He understands that none of them want to go on to race Formula One or anything. They're here because they love karting and they love the style of racing, the level of equality, the level of professionalism, and now they love the chance they can go and do their hobby, even though, you know, these aren't hobby karters, they're rental racers and they are enthusiasts. They can go and do this and then be selected, you know, earn their right to come and race at Silverstone. The 20 drivers in this qualifying session, I will give you a rundown through the full list when timing and scoring updates itself.
We're looking at this at the front of the field. Number 10 there is Caden Greenleaf. He's going to be carrying one of our onboard cameras for this session. Caden Greenleaf is a driver that's raced mostly at the K1 indoor circuit in America for the last few years. He started 3 years ago, and he also came third in the FKFX Championship as well.
Say that after a couple of sherbets without risking ruining your career. FKFX? Yes. Now, there's a piece of tarmac that Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill crashed. So that's why that bit of circuit's so wide. This is the apex at Jimmy's. Jimmy Clark missed a few apexes. Well, the back of his car missed a few apexes. The front of his car was bang on the apex.
The driver that's second place on the road at the moment, we haven't had a full flying lap in this session yet, is Giovanni Perez D'Amico.
Yes.
Now, Giovanni, I spoke to for the first time. I've never met him before this weekend.
You're
very
taller
nice.
than him as well, aren't you, Piers?
Not by much. And one thing I was impressed with, and this is something with Giovanni Perez D'Amico, but with many of the drivers, they take the racing very seriously on circuit. They're here for a great time. Everyone's enjoying themselves. But I went over and was just having a quick chinwag. He has a notebook in which he has printed corner radiuses. He then uses those as stencils. He's drawn his own track maps. And after every session that he's done, he has a full noted list of points of interest, points of information, points of improvement for every single corner, and breaks it down. He was going through it with his team, such as the level of full engineering level debrief for this event.
But that's because that's the only engineering you can do. In owner-driver racing, you engineer, you learn about engineering, chassis engineering, engine tuning. You have none of that, tyre pressures. You learn all about how the handling, the pressures affect the handling and the performance of the kart. Here, you can't do anything. Club 100 do it all. Rotax Racing Club UK do it all. The
only thing that you have control over as a driver in this event, which is a positive of the event, is how you drive the car. And that is solely your result is solely dependent on your ability to find the limit of grip and extract the most from these Rotax Racing Club karts throughout the event. And the ways you can do that is how you drive the corner, your minimum speed, where you have your minimum speed in the corner, your body position, how you hold the steering wheel, how you hold the brakes, when you get on the power, how quickly you get on the power, how you choose to place your kart on circuit, both in qualifying and in the race. These are all within the driver's controls. Everything that they do on circuit has an impact on their race weekend, and they can do that knowing that the karts are going to give them the opportunity that if they have driven the best race weekend, they will have a fighting chance of taking victory at the end of Saturday and becoming our inaugural Rotax Racing Club final winner.
If you are physically and mentally prepared, that is half the battle. Being physically and mentally prepared, because there are only so many variables you can control, yourself being one of them, like Pierre said. So being physically and mentally prepared, strong, fit, that's the best way. Tom Northcott has just dropped from first to second because Jake Chapman, driver number 40, is now your provisional pole sitter. Lap time 1 minute 10.693.
And he is a man who is not unfamiliar with the front of the field. The 18-year-old from Winchester in the UK was the Club 100 Junior Lightweight Champion last season. So knows his way around a Rotax Racing Club kart and has also driven, I believe, at this circuit as well.
Now, here is a great pack of traffic. It's not what you want to be in. Now, you're looking down in the right-hand corner. That would be, I believe, wow, is that, that's Finn Irons, his family. Great bucket hat game there from Mrs. Irons, I've got to say. Nice, clean, and yet, bold branding on the back of the t-shirts.
Not just any old irons.
Superb. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be Piers Pryor stating his intent. I shall not be alone here in the terms of bad punditry. There's going to be some great punditry here in the commentary box. Racing punditry from Piers, who has raced at the highest level, knows these karts. I have even managed to squeeze into one of these karts.
No, you haven't.
Oh,
2-0
to Piers Pryor.
I'm here all weekend, everyone. I'm here all weekend.
2-0 to Piers Pryor.
Jake Chapman still leads the way while all this tomfoolery is going on. Tom Northcott right behind him. Jack O'Neill in third place. Keep an eye out for Jack O'Neill. He was electric in practice this morning. Nearly 3/10 clear, if my memory serves me correct, in that first session.
I love the karting community, Piers Pryor. The viewpoints are from far and wide, some of which I agree with, some of which I don't. Johnny Elliott, I think that has to be the worst take in sport since Chris Waddle stepped up to take that penalty for England in Italian 90. Because 36 years later, that ball is still somewhere over the skies of Turin. Hasn't landed yet. Johnny, we do have different opinions. You are wrong in terms of my opinion on rental karters. My opinion on rental karters could not be higher. Hang on, John, you're getting a phone call here. Sorry. Yeah, okay. I'll tell him. Right, Johnny, I've just had Burger King on the phone. They want to sue you for copyright infringement because they think that take is an absolute whopper. I have the utmost respect for rental karting and drivers. Some of the junior drivers, it's have dreams of racing Formula One. The seniors, the enthusiasts, and they're not hobbyists, they're enthusiasts. They are here. This is their Formula One. I think.
This is the pinnacle of this level of racing.
It is. It absolutely is the pinnacle of this level racing. Keep the jabs coming in, Johnny. I got plenty of receipts. But you know what? You're watching and you're commenting and we're creating a discourse, which is good. That's the only thing, is discussing the pros and cons of every bit of karting. But watching it, full stop, is the best.
Interesting. Top two on the timings at the moment are the first two on circuit, and they are following one another, using the toe, helping each other along, and they're only separated by 0.5 of a second right now. The 43 with the green helmet there, that is Tom Northcott. He's being chased by our fastest driver as it stands, Jake Chapman, and as it stands, looking at the lap times, not improving on this lap, but they're lapping very consistently indeed. The last lap from Tom Northcott was only 1/10 away from his best, and he's only 0.5 away from the fastest lap of the session. But keep an eye out for the 22, Robert Crawford there. He's just closing up to the back of this group, and you can see there actually the 40 Crawford, it's just as I said it. Henry, it's almost like I know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Goes to the top. Oh no, Ben Sanders is now quickest.
Oh,
that nearly worked out perfectly for me there. What do I know? Ben Sanders, top now with a 10.582. Very, very strong lap from Ben. As we head our way through Maggots and Beckett's once again for our front drivers.
Now, Ben Sanders, his sister, Abby Sanders, she won the Saudi World Series International Finals, women's division, back in 2023. There is Ben. Abby has then moved, I won't say moved up, Johnny, I'm not saying moved up, I'm saying she's moved across to owner-driver racing for Jack Dex. And she's here coaching her younger brother. There he is in the 58. He competes in the British University Karting Championship. Now, here's something that we're seeing that is different, Piers. Drivers, how a driver sits in the seat and moves their body around, is different in owner-driver racing than Rotax Racing Club events.
It very much can be. I've raced in both senior Rotax, other owner-driver events. I've raced in these, not these very karts, but karts very similar to these. I've raced in other higher karts as well. And the body position is something that the drivers have control over in the karts that's not only personal to them for how they feel most comfortable, but also how you place your body and how you stiffen and slacken different parts of your body has a minor but a measurable impact on how the kart handles. Generally, drivers who lean forward more and lean in more, they will find a little bit more understeer. If you lean outwards, you can make the kart rotate a little bit more through the middle and the exit of the corner. Now, these are fine margins, but it can impact on how the kart feels through a corner. And if there's a corner in which you're struggling with understeer, or your kart, which is ever so slightly different to the kart you drove previously due to natural manufacturing differences, you can impact and influence how the kart feels throughout a corner, throughout a session. You can place your body differently and stiffen your body differently to get the most out of the kart you're driving in this session.
New provisional poleman, Robert Crawford. Now you're looking at James King, Brad Philpott on the live chat. Jarrett King from the USA, he goes out in the next class. He is a senior heavy, is Jarrett King, the other J King. And I'm not joking, but James King, is third at the moment. Nice. 4 tenths down. Checkered flag coming out, Jack O'Neill, P7.
Jack will be disappointed with that, considering his pace this morning. But it's so close. I mean, 6 tenths, it sounds like a lot, but when you consider a toe could be 5, 6, 7 tenths, that could be the difference when we've seen a lot of our drives at the front of the field using a toe to good effect.
Northcott, and Northcott is being chased by the number 22 kart of Robert. Well, he's being chased with the pole sitter. So this is, Northcott has dropped to 6th now. Dante Dillon moves into P4. Now, through the final corner, through the penultimate corner, that very, very fast kink farm curve is the final corner listed. That's officially turn number 18. Now, Crawford, Northcott on the last lap. Well, that was significant. Northcott jumps from 6th to 2nd on the last lap by virtue of just being with, on track, Robert Crawford. So Robert Crawford with the Slovakian flag next to his name. Is your provisional pole sitter. The senior lights, Group A, qualifying 1, Northcott 2nd, Sanders 3rd, James King 4th, Dante Dillon, Jake Chapman, Jack O'Neill, Andrew McWilliam, and then the first one Italians, Jacopo Mongelli, and from China, number 61, Shuning Gong. Danik Messier from Canada is 11th. Then Caden Greenleaf, onboard camera kart for that session. And let's see who was behind. Giovanni Perez D'Amico was next. And now onto the track come the next group. Brad Philpott, this is where your buddy... No, I'm lying. Because Jarrett King... Is Jarrett King in this group, or is he in the heavies? So, Jarrett King is in the heavies. He's your mate, Brad. He'll be coming up next. Piers Pryor, meanwhile, is down in pit lane. Take it away, Piers.
Thanks very much, Henry. Let's chat to our fastest driver from that last session. I'll try not to get run over. Let's jump through before we go green. Robert, Mr. Crawford, fastest man.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You don't know how?
Well, I stayed in the tow for like the whole quali, so that's probably why, yeah.
You drove a good session as well, no?
Yeah, good driving a bit, yeah.
But also, the tow, how powerful do you reckon the tow is today?
It's very important. Like, if you don't have a tow, you're not going to finish high. Like, I gapped Jake by about 4 kart lengths by the end of that session. So that was all the tow, to be honest. Yeah.
What do you reckon the secret is to getting a good lap time in today?
Getting in clear air, make sure you're behind someone who's similar pace as you, and stay in the tow.
Robert Crawford there, fastest driver from that part of session. Let's look to the next session of qualifying, which is out on circuit.
Thank you very much, Piers. The morning overcast skies have given way to a glorious, glorious sunny afternoon here at Silverstone. You can see already the grass looks a little bit greener because it's got the sun shining down on it. The tops of the drivers' crash helmets glistening away under the blue skies. There, on track, there is our only driver here this week, Kevin Andrea Baharo, hails originally from Madagascar. He carries the Madagascan flag on his race suit, even though he lives now in Canada and has qualified for the club finals through the Canadian club, SH Karting, I believe based up in Quebec. On-board camera coming across the start-finish line into turn number 1. You've got to throw it in late to turn number 1. Somebody throws in even later. That's Rory O'Regan. Now, Rory O'Regan, part of the Nameless Motorsport team that's at Butmore Park 24 hours. Piers, you're nodding. Is that because you recall that Nameless Motorsport got a 1-2 finish at Butmore Park?
I'll turn my mic on first, Henry, thank you.
That's quite right.
Yeah, Nameless, they've had been a pretty good run of things recently, haven't they?
They have. It's the more I commentate on Nameless Motorsport, the better I think the idea behind Nameless is. It's Nameless Motorsport. It hasn't got a name. It does have a name.
Its name is Nameless.
Name's Nameless, yes. You know.
But it's Nameless.
I know, but that's his name. It's Nameless.
Yes. But they're a very good group of drivers, of which Rory is one. And Rory is absolutely no doubt one of the top drivers in the UK at the moment. He has raced at the highest level, raced in the Club 100 Juniors, was very successful in that, taking wins and championships, and is now doing exactly the same thing in seniors and also in endurance racing as well. And Nameless have been travelling all over Europe, and Rory as well, and they've been very successful in those two. Is actually, just as we chat about him, pops it top of the field.
That. Now, the flag that you look at, okay, another very interesting driver, Shyam Raguba. He's qualified, he's there in 17th position at the moment. That flag is the flag of Mauritius, which is where Shyam is from. He spent some time in Australia and now he's based out in California. Shyam Raguba, this is only his 2nd season driving anything in karting. Last year, his very first season, he missed out on the Formula KFX Championship by 0.06 of a second. Oh. They were level, him and his rival, on points coming out of the final corner, who were also level, and then, Shyam's rival got it on the line. So Shyam is, and again, a very, very, how should I say this, analytical driver is Shyam Raguba. Now, that was on our screen flashing up our camera kart is Alfie Slater.
Correct.
Now, Alfie Slater, driver number 76. He's been karting for 2 years. That's all it says. I'm assuming he's been karting. All he's written is 2 years. Now, that's not his age. I know, because that would be a bit worrying. So I'm assuming he's been karting for 2 years. Where is he? That is Alfie Slater.
Currently
down
sitting in 10th place.
So that's not too bad.
No. Front of the field, Owen Genman, very, very experienced driver. Races a lot for Titan Motorsport.
Yes.
Has raced in Club 100 many times. As Fraser Brunton, who was following Owen Genman, has decided to drop back into the path of... Is that Andrew William? No, that is Rory O'Regan.
Ah, Rory O'Regan, yes. Interesting fact, Owen Genman. In 2007, Owen Genman won the Red Bull Track Attack.
Yes, he did.
Around the streets of Cardiff. I feel quite close to Owen Genman in that respect because that was the only season the Red Bull Track Attack run in the UK. He won the very last Red Bull Track Attack race in the UK. I won the very first. The launch event at the Autosport show at the NEC against Vito Antonio Liuzzi and Christian Klein, who at that point were Red Bull and Toro Rosso Formula One drivers. Antonio Liuzzi, also former world karting champion. And they both fell to a slightly overweight, slightly balding Welshman. Who had...
Is it only slightly then, Henry?
They had to extend the race to 10 laps to see if because Autosport magazine were doing this huge feature, and part of the feature was that Liuzzi wins it, and of course he didn't. There we go. And then at the end of that season, I was in Cardiff for the finals where Owen Genman did win.
This is interesting.
Yes.
Now, so Owen Genman was at the front of this field with Fraser Brunton. Brunton drops back behind Rory O'Regan to get the tow. Genman now drops back behind Fraser Brunton. This is how powerful the tow is and how crucial it is in terms of a lap time.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say, news alert. Johnny Elliott agrees with something Henry Baudet has said. That we like the word moving across. Okay, yes. You move across to owner drivers, and I agree with that. You don't move up.
They're just different genres of the same sport.
Yes, and you know, I want to say that Clayton Ravenscroft, ex-British Senior X30 champion, raced for Nameless.
European champion as well?
Yeah, European champion as well. Raced for Nameless at Le Mans in the Saudi World Series, 24 hours last weekend. And so Clayton has retired from owner drivers, so he has come back across. Well, he's come back into karting.
Well, he hasn't come across because he never raced high karts.
No.
He has come across to.
Yes, he's come across. He's not gone. He's not dropped down to. You're not going back to the. You're coming across. So there we go. You learn something new every day. Who would have thought it, ladies and gentlemen? Henry and Johnny Elliott in the perfect live stream discourse harmony.
Meanwhile, Rory O'Regan has just popped it fastest as we've got times tumbling now. The tyres coming into their temperature window, the drivers finding their eye, learning how the circuit is feeling. 10.3 for both Rory O'Regan and Owen Genman first and second. 10.4 for Max Chapman. 10.5 Sam Lovelace. Fraser Brunton on 10.6 alongside Jeremy Gaucher. And also Alfie Slater, unfortunately, he's carrying our camera. However, the camera has caught him catching quite a lot of cones. And has received 3 cone penalties in this session, so pushing up to and slightly beyond the limit, unfortunately, Alfie. So he'll be hoping for a cleaner second session, which is coming up later this afternoon.
Are we thinking that this might be one and done for Alfie Slater with a camera? And we think that he might come back and realise I got like 74 cone penalties or curb penalties in that race. Oh yes, maybe take the extra set of officials' eyes directly off my wagon. Here we go. Are we going to see a change? Well, only Harry Clark moving to 9th.
It was interesting. We were just looking at Sam Lovelace there in the 16, who currently sits 4th place. Didn't catch the number of the driver behind, but he was actually willing the driver behind to catch him and push him along, because not only does the tow work from behind, but also if you have a driver behind you pushing you along,
Jimmy's?
You can go that. Rory O'Regan has decided, I've gone as fast as I can in this group. All I'm doing now is towing everyone else up to me, and I don't want anyone to overtake me, so I'm going to fall back. Find a space and go again.
Smart, very smart from Rory O'Regan.
Now we are 3 wide again.
And it's great entertainment, not great for qualifying tactics. O'Regan, Genman, Chapman, Gaucher, Lovelace, Brunton, Simcock, and then Tommy Lee in the top 8. Kevin Andrew Maharo. He's named Andrew Maharo, that's the Madagascan driver. So we've got our one driver, Madagascar, and our one driver from Mauritius in the same group.
Driver wanted to talk about a little bit is the number 12, Josh de Cruyff. He has not raced since 2023. 21-year-old driver, used to race in Rotax DD2.
Did, yes.
In the Netherlands. Has been in touch, kept in touch with Club 100 Rotax Racing Club for the last few years. As soon as they saw this event put on, they were like, yes, need some of that.
Yes.
Need some of that. Did all the things he needed to do to get here. He's racing and loving it.
Brilliant.
We come across one of the few Dutch drivers we've got at this event and getting well involved, and he's so close to the top 10 in this session.
A lot of side-by-side action there. Now, the red race, well, they're both the red race suit. Well done, Henry. Oh, dear. For those of you that are colourblind, the driver of the red race suit is just behind the driver of the orange race suit. The driver, the third of the three drivers on your screen now is Kevin Andrew Maharo. Pierce Priory is one of the key overtaking parts.
You're welcome.
Just thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, just that's it. You're welcome. You know. There's the number 98. Now that is Kevin Andrew Maharo to SH Karting in Canada. So that's Andrew Maharo in the 98. He's just gone past the 88. I like that. Do you know why I like that so much? Because you could do things in non-owner driver racing in terms that you can't do in owner driver racing. The homologation of the race suits slightly different. That driver there, not with the plain red race suit. Look at the badge placement. Look at the yellow bit on the side. Does that remind you of anything? He's tried to do his own Ayrton Senna McLaren, Ayrton Senna Alain Prost McLaren style race suits.
I love it.
But there is, you see, that's not got all the F1 logos on it, although it might have the Shell badge on the side, but it's just got the same colour in different places.
And this is something interesting about an event like this, Henry, the Rotax Racing Club. Very wide goes Owen Gemman, too wide on the entry of Priory. That's going to ruin his lap. But all of these drivers are representing themselves and their country only.
Yes.
There are no teams. There are no alliances. There are no... Well, there'll be unofficial alliances, but there is no... Everyone is very much in it for themselves, and therefore you can wear, within reason, what you want, as long as it's homologated and safety.
Yes.
You can drive, within reason, however you want, as long as you are within the rules of the event. And also, you are here to win for yourself. It's not like cycling as Simcock jumps to the front of the field.
Joseph Simcock at the death. 1 minute 10.288 seconds. Knox O'Regan off his perch. Genman third. Chapman fourth. Gaucher is next up. Then it's Lovelace, Brunton, Andrew Maharo, Slater, and Axel Schlepchevich. I think that is Schlepchevich. I will get confirmation on that name a little bit later on. You can see in the foreground the second group of senior lights. That'll be Group B. No, that was Group B qualifying one for the senior lights. So we're going to look ahead now. It is going to be the heavies, the big hitters, heavy metal, quite literally, about to hit the circuit. Piers Pryor is down in pit lane. The heavies go out. Piers Pryor, he's a lightweight, but with very heavy questions. Come on, Piers.
Here with our fastest driver from that session, which was a senior lightweight Group B, Joseph Simcock. Joseph, good session from yourself there. Nice little quick lap in at the end of the session, put you top.
Didn't expect that at all.
Lovely.
Yeah, there's a lot of working to go for that session, so thanks everyone behind me, I suppose, for pushing me along, but yeah.
Drove a good race. Clearly the number 69 doing well for you.
Yeah, perfectly closing, eh?
Absolutely, perfect. Were you confident that you were going to be at the top in that session? Do you feel like you were driving well?
I
thought top 5 would be on, definitely. I didn't expect first, so that's something. But
and does that give you confidence going into the rest of the weekend? Can you take victory at the end of tomorrow?
Well, I'd like to. I'd definitely like to. I'd give it a good go.
For those who didn't see, there was a little wry smile there. A little wry smile from Joseph Simcock. That was our lightweight Group B. We've got the heavyweight Group A. That's out on circuit. They're starting their qualifying session.
Back on track, 8.5 minutes to go. This is the heavies. In this class, this group, Miguel Hall, Joe Holmes, Andrew O'Neill, Kyle Walker, Jerome Vivier, Alex Pritchard, Patricio Barsha, Michael Charbonneau, Marcel Chmielski, Jarrett King, Eric Zhou, Larry Tyndall, Ross Sandwell, Sam Iddies, Tim Hill, Derek Martin, Samuel Bensley, Damien Smith, Lin Yunji, and Suzanne Chen. Again, such a nice wide variety of nations and nationality. Through the switchback section, so tight. That's the second group. That's turns 11, 12 and 13, Club, Ireland and Tower. Now, watching and marvelling at the skills as into, this would be Museum Corner, named because at the outside of the circuit is the museum. That kink there, that's Farm Curve, because it's at the site of the old Silverstone farm, long since gone. Now, turn 1, Wellington. Not named, well, it's named after the Formula 1 straight, but it's named after the Wellington Bomber, which are the planes, the American planes, the British planes that were serviced here in World War II. Stage after the rally special stage here at Silverstone. Jimmy's Curve after Jim Clark. Brooklands after the famous Brooklands Oval, which is, some of it is still there in Surrey. Then you've got the Maggots and Beckett's complex, named after the famous complex at the race circuit. Into Bridge. Bridge is the corner that the circuit, you just come out of Bridge now, well, the F1 circuit used to go through there. Then Express Curve, named after the Daily Express Bridge, that used to be the bridge that cars would come underneath on their way into Woodcote Chicane, all the way up until the mid-1980s when the track was changed. Then you have Priory, which is named after
Piers Pryor,
which is named after Piers Pryor.
Then it's not after him.
No, it is. Then you have Club already, Rotax Racing Club. Oh, what was that? Sorry. Oh, sorry. That's Club Corner on the old Silverstone circuit. That might be it. Ireland, Innis Ireland, 1961 Formula 1 Grand Prix winner at the American Grand Prix at Riverside or Sebring that year.
You're asking me.
It was a rhetorical question. Innis Ireland, one of the great all-time raconteurs in Innis Ireland, believe it or not, is largely responsible for the current sportsman doing after-dinner speaking. He made more money after dinner speaking than he ever did driving a racing car, because he was so good at it, you know. Innis Ireland, of course, Tower, named after Scoring Tower. Seagrave, Henry Seagrave, the land speed record, well, aspirant Henry Seagrave on land and sea. Here's one for the Watershed. Turn 15, Seaman, named after pre-war English Grand Prix driver Richard Dick Seaman, who was killed at Spa-Francorchamps just before the outbreak of World War II. He was the only British driver that was allowed, that was given permission by Alfred Neubauer to race one of the big Silver Arrow pre-war Mercedes Grand Prix cars. Then you have Wing Curve, self-explanatory, Museum, we've been through that, there we go, that's all the corner names.
Good job, Henry.
With 5 minutes to go. Only 3 minutes of waffling.
It's all good. We've got Miguel Hall at the front of the field. Andy O'Neill, second place. He is the driver at the front of this group with the white helmet. Closely followed by Joe Holmes. He is the second in this group. Both of those drivers extremely well-versed and experienced in Club 100, Rotax Racing Club machinery, and also in many, many other different types of kart. They also both have done plenty of endurance racing in karts. Then we've got Marcel Chmielewski.
We had this conversation with him beforehand.
We absolutely do our best to get everyone's names right.
I've already apologised.
We might not do it first time.
No, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But, you know, I'm a massive diva, but Piers is really approachable. So he goes, I'm joking. He isn't being approachable at all, no. I know we're both very approachable.
You have to go
people.
through my agent, Henry, that's the thing.
We are both very approachable. If you're in the paddock and we're getting your names wrong, come up and see us and just say, this is how you pronounce it. And then we play this game, this commentator's game. We'll say it again, because we were standing with Mr. Chmielewski, and he's there going, Chmielewski? No, Chmielewski. It was a comedy moment. You had to be there, I suppose. Look at those blue skies overlooking the beautiful circuit. That's the lowest part of the track. Geographically, now we head up the hill. That was Bridge Corner. Up the hill. Now you're going to see so many of those moves, Piers, into Priory. There's going to be a joke there that probably will get someone. I'm not going to even go there. It's too early in the afternoon.
The joke makes itself, Henry.
You can imagine about somebody making the move. Yes. Just concentrate on the racing. Jarrett King's 10th, by the way.
But the thing to note there was that Joe Holmes, the 36th there, the driver who made the move into Priory, didn't run wide, didn't go over the curb, and didn't get cut back, which is so easy to do in that corner, because you turn up there very, very fast, and that corner slightly over a crest, so slightly off camber.
The kart's unweighted as well.
Yes.
Not unweighted, it's got the weight on it because it's light off camber, it's light on its wheels.
A proportion of the weight falls away from the tyres, the grip reduces.
There we are. Technicalities, ladies and gentlemen, from Piers Pryor, and he's quite right as well. This is a great new camera angle from Alpha Live. Didn't have this at the BUKs. Why is it great? It shows the speed and it shows the angle of the drivers trying not to hit the cones at turns 5, 6, and 7, and then it shows the actual how steep the hill is.
It really is. Bridge Corner, turn 8 in this circuit. Aggressively downhill just before the apex. Banked on the way in, flattens out at the exit. You can carry a lot of speed into that corner, but because you're going downhill, the grip is reduced. But then at the apex, it flattens out and the grip is increased. So you've got a lot to play with. You have to balance the car perfectly on the brakes. The timing of both the braking, turning, and acceleration is crucial. And then it's followed by an absolute whopper of straight, flat out section as they go uphill through Pride, and it's uphill, so therefore any speed deficit on the exit is amplified. So a very, very crucial corner in terms of the lap time. Probably second only to, I'd say, the last one. The last real corner, Museum, 17 of 18.
Yes.
That is the crucial one. That's the one that leads you out through Farm and over the start-finish straight. Those two are probably arguably the most important on the circuit in terms of a fast lap time around here.
Miguel Hall, thank you. Up here. Miguel Hall moves to the top of the charts, 111.1. Again, so these are the heavies. It's not just the driver weight that is heavier. Obviously, the actual class weight is heavier as well. So Miguel Hall, Patricio Barcia, Andrew O'Neill, your top three. There is the race suit of Chinese Taipei. Now, I think, is that Suzhan Chen or is that Cho Shen Wei? We'll find out.
The times we're doing in this session, pretty comparable to what we had in practice this morning. This will be their last flying lap for most of these drivers. We did have one driver drop in the 10s. That was in the third of the 4 practice sessions. Kurt Holmes did a 10.7. We don't know how much of a toe is involved there, but an 11.1. Mike Phillip, who was second fastest in that one. So low 111s is where we're going to be, I reckon. A 110 will be front row almost guaranteed. Henry?
Jarrett King, driver number 69, is your current leader. And if he can hang on this lap, Piers is going to realise, you've spoken to Jarrett already, what a nice guy, what a funny and what a talented guy. Check this out for some of Jarrett's. Oh, he has opened his own kart track in Baltimore, Maryland. He has been 3rd overall in the US Indoor Kart Nationals twice. He was 9th in the 2019 Indoor Kart World Championship, where he raced against my good friend John Del Valle, who, for my money, and Johnny Elliott's money as well, because we talk about him quite a bit. I've known John for a long time, had a lovely meal with him and his partner a couple of years ago. Drove me to the airport. John Del Valle, for my money, the best rental kart racer in the world at the moment. Although, by the time Rotax Racing Club finals are finished, John Del Valle will have some legitimate competition in terms of the right to be called the greatest rental kart racer in the world at the moment. Jarrett King. Well, Formula KFX Junior Academy students, your tutor, your coach, Jarrett King, knows what he is talking about, because he's just put it top of the charts. And Alex Pritchard, Miguel Hall, Patricio Barcher, Andrew O'Neill, Joe Holmes, Kyle Walker, and the rest. Let's have a look down there. Michael Sharp, Michael Charbonneau, Canada 40, just playing Jerome Villiers. Cho Sheng Wai, for Chinese Taipei, the island of Taiwan, a top 15. Piers Pryor, you're with Jarrett King. Ask him how his Scylla is.
Henry, thank you very much. I'm not with Jarrett King, but I will be in just a moment's time. Let's go and find him. He's over here. Jarrett King, fastest driver of Group A of the heavyweights. Jarrett, come on, man. Let's have a chat. Let's have a. Let's say that. Say that with less swears.
Woo! Let's go, baby. P1.
P1. There you go. There's Jarrett King. 10.9. Only the second driver today to drop below the 1:11 time barrier. Clearly, you're getting to grips with this Silverstone kart circuit.
Hell yeah, I am. It feels great out there. I got a good pull from Pritchard. He was running pretty smooth, and I was able to get right behind him. Gave me a good draft, and that draft pays dividends.
Henry said to ask you about your son.
What?
He said ask you about your son.
My son?
Well, maybe I misheard.
I don't know. I don't have a son yet.
Well, maybe it's Henry. I've misheard.
Maybe you're thinking of James King?
Oh.
The lesser J King?
That'll be it. Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it. Anyway, Jarrett, amazing. What have you taken from the practice sessions? What have you changed to leap forward in that session?
Getting on my throttle a little bit sooner. Smooth. Turn 1, 2, 3. Turn 4, picking up a little bit of speed. I forgot what turn is coming up the hill. Right-hander. Finding a little bit more speed. Friday. Priory. Picking up more speed in Priory. Those are my 2 hardest corners. Everywhere else, I just did the same thing I did in practice, so I knew where I needed to go faster, and I went faster.
1 down, 1 to go. Are you going to do more of the same, or is there still more to come?
I feel like I have at least another 2 or 3 tenths in there. I'm going to do more of the same. I'm going to find those 2 tenths, put everybody on notice.
Sounds like a plan. Jarrett, congratulations.
Thank you.
There we go. Wow. Well, Henry, you did say that was going to be entertaining, and it was. We've got more racing and more qualifying, so let's head over and have a look at that.
It was actually, I said to Piers, ask Jarrett about his Scylla, because he has actually tweaked his back. He was hobbling around the restaurant this morning it's in the same hotel as me, and he was literally showing me the bandages. He was hobbling around the thing. So I said, well, obviously Cockney rhyming slang, back is your Scylla Black, after, Scylla Black. Who else? So of course we're learning, from California to the UK, and that's just, there's no media training. It's unbridled pleasure and joy. Jarrett King owns a motorbike shop in California when he is not racing and coaching kids for Formula KFX. Obviously, Rotax Racing Club UK, aka Club 100, though that they've been running these events for 30 years. Their drivers, of whom they are numerous, there are obviously a lot more British drivers here than any other nation. Not because in the UK, just because we are just starting out on this Rotax Racing Club concept. So any of the national clubs that aren't Club 100, any of the overseas national clubs, the results that their drivers get here are so important for the championship promoters. Because, for example, Phil Pegler, Formula KFX owner, which is Rotax Racing Club California, to give it its full title. Now, I would be putting on the Formula KFX social media channels, you know, Jarrett King, pole position at the, or, you know, first session, qualifying 1, pole position, Formula KFX, Rotax Racing Club, you know, California driver, Jarrett King. And that's how you sell your junior academy to prospective drivers. Say, there's your coach. There's your coach, Jarrett King. Look how good he was. So
and it may well turn into pole position because the drivers take their best lap from either of their 2 qualifying sessions through.
Okay, so it's all...
It could well be the pole position time.
We've got old school where, like Formula 1, old school Formula 1 used to have 1 qualifying session on the Friday, 1 on the Saturday, both hours on the Friday. But again, you're taking 1 lap out of 2 sessions. You know, so that's very unique in karting nowadays.
It is.
Number 1, to have a proper qualifying session, 11 minutes, you know, not like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But to have 2 qualifying sessions, and like qualifying 1 doesn't set the grid for heat 1, qualifying 2 doesn't set the grid for heat 2. That's because there's only 1 heat. The times are amalgamated. Now, we spoke about the gentleman from Queensland, from New South Wales, watching. Well, Greg Watts, he's got the UAE flag next to him, but he is from Australia originally. In kart number 67, is 17th at the moment. Number 43, Anwar Berrowell-Smith. Now, if we're going to talk OGs of Club 100, ABS is OG personified.
His first Club 100 event, I think, well, he started racing.
Well,
he started racing in 1999 and
Yes.
has not stopped pretty much since. And that's no surprise that he is 3-time Club 100 Rotax Racing Club UK champion, 5 times SP60 champion. As just last year won the Tilson T4 Worlds as well. So a driver that's no stranger to the top step.
Certainly not. He has been racing. I just called him. I've done myself there, calling him the OG, making a reference to his age, and yet, he has been karting the same amount of time. Well, I started in karting in 1996, but I started racing in 1999. So we now I know why he's got grey hair, because he's as old as me. Very nice race suit, though. Got a touch of the Aussie about that race suit, I think. Well, no, it looks like, I mean, he's got the sleeves. That reminds me, let's have a look at the sleeves. Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled team. Tell me that the leggings and the arms of ABS's race suits don't remind you of Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings in a go-kart. One run with the rhythm, run with the rhyme. It's go-kart time.
Sanka, you're dead.
You mean like, no, we're not just...
Anyway, that's it.
This is not just...
And he's going well in this session. Currently sits 3rd place, a 1:11.2. This session, Kurt Holmes was the only driver to drop into the 1:10s this morning in practice. He had a 1:10.7, I think it was. Let me just check back. Was it a 10.7? Yeah, 10.79. We're getting dangerously close to the 1:10s. Kurt Holmes came straight out the blocks on lap 3, which is unusually early in a session to see a quick time. He's 2nd place with a 1:11.1 on that one. I reckon that Kurt Holmes got more in the bag, because if he on lap 3 can do a 1:11.1, we normally see the times drop by a 10th or 2, laps sort of 7, 8, 9, which is where we're getting to at this stage of this session.
ABS has an awful lot of supporters online. Yes. One supporter questioning the validity of why anybody else would choose to rock up and race this when ABS already won it.
Well, I think I had a conversation with Jarrett King, who just took the fastest time in this first group of this heavyweight. I chatted to him the first time yesterday at the welcome party, and he was chatting about Anwar, who'd travelled over to America to do a race, and he said, I thought I had this in the bag and now you've turned up. So we could have a reuniting of those two.
They are being, well, they're not, oh no, they're not being reunited in the team trophy. They're both in it. But again, this is something that, I mean, ABS, yes, he is not just a supporter. And I raced, I mean, I commentated, I wasn't commentating, on ABS. And who is that? Oh, number 91, Adam Nather, 90 seconds to go. Anwar Barrel-Smith, he went out, I think he knows Phil Pagner from, Rotax Racing Club, California, and went out to do that. But that just shows what a passionate, respectful and loyal that ABS believes in this championship. He has supported Club 100 so long. He has gained a following around the world.
Yeah, true.
Whether you love him or hate him, he's gained a following, and that following meant that, do you know what? The people in California, he went out there and did that first race as a support as well for the whole, national club system that's been put in place.
Fastest lap of the day in heavyweights has just fallen. It was Kurt Holmes in practice number 2 this morning, my mistake. Fallen now. Adam Nather 10.787. That's a hundredth faster than we had from Kurt Holmes this morning. But Kurt Holmes is right behind. He's only 700ths slower, currently sitting in second place. And Anwar Barrel-Smith, currently sitting third. Mikey Nichols is fourth, and Hayden Harris is fifth. Very, very close at the front. Then a big gap. Those two are class of the field at the moment, Nather and Holmes. Then you've got pretty much third through 10th is then nose to tail. Oh, we've got that is Adam Nather getting shuffled wide, even though he's fastest.
Yeah.
This is going to be the last lap for all of these drivers.
It is indeed. Nather, Holmes, ABS, Nichols, Harris, Philippou, Penny, Sills, and Lopez Gracie and Zach Cuff round out your top 10 at the moment. We are looking down. Kurt Holmes, the first driver to take the checkered flag. He does not improve, stays second. Lopez Gracie, the number 89 kart let's look further down the order. Well, Yi Chang-su is 11th. Ahead of Simon Laflamme is the only Colombian driver, number 13, Fernando Rueda. Again, a qualifier from Rotax Racing Club California, but has chose to run. See a family connection. Maybe he was born there. That's why he runs the Colombian flag, not the USA flag. Here was your provisional top 10. We have got, at the end of this session, at the end of this next session, we will be halfway through qualifying. And you can see in the foreground, drivers leaving pit lane as we look at the provisional results from Heavies Group B. Peter Janowski, he will team with Jarrett Smith in the team trophy. And Piers Pryor is down chatting away to a driver from that session.
Thanks very much, Henry. Yeah, we're down here just going to get the live reaction from hopefully Adam Nather, who was our fastest driver in that session. But Adam's driven all the way down the other end. So come on, cameraman Luke, let's go for a wander, shall we? Because Adam Nather, our fastest driver, it would be remiss of us not to go and talk to him. Adam's a very experienced driver, has raced in plenty of the Club 100 and Rotax Racing Club events throughout the last few years. Also a veteran of the BUKC, the British Universities Karting Championship, which runs on on under the Club 100 banner as well. Adam, P1, sir. P1, mate. Well, it's gone, but you're P1.
Oh, amazing. I mean, the car felt really good, so I've got to give some credence to that, but I felt pretty good out there. I actually used the traction device from where I was slow in the sessions and then just tried to improve on that in the quali.
Well, tell me more about this traction device. How did you find out what was going on?
So it gives you a good telemetry, and what it basically does, it says which corners you're pretty bad at. So there's the 90 right. Apparently I was really bad on entry because I think I was braking way too early and I was sliding too much, so I literally broke a kart length later, didn't lock up and just kept 90, and I was able to brake later and probably got the power earlier, so it did actually really help.
Really interesting. You're not a stranger to a Rotax Racing Club kart, Club 100. I was just chatting. You had a bit of experience here racing at the British University's Karting Championship. I know it's one of the favourite circuits of yours already.
Yeah, it's just a really fun circuit, really fast flowing, really long as well, so it's got that technicality about it, while it's also be a fast circuit. I quite like fast circuits, so yeah, worked well today.
Fastest lap of the day so far, 10.78.
Wow.
Happy?
Very happy. I was not expecting to be pole. I was stuck behind a few cars at the end, so I thought I fluffed it, so I'll take that.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Adam. We're going to go and have a look at the next part of qualifying. Thanks very much. Adam, back to you, Henry. Back to you, Henry.
Underway, 8 minutes to go here. This is the start of round number 2, the Super Lights. So the Junior Super Lights, they will actually be the fastest of all 4 classes. Their karts are much lighter, so they're obviously say much quicker. That's not true. They're a second, maybe a second and a half quicker than this, a 10-1 at the moment. That's going to be very quickly done. Already, you're going to see, hello to Salvador Newman. Hello to everyone, to Bradley Shepherd watching. Talking about a lot of the going out there. Chris Clark saying hello to Vicky. Is Clark watching? Listening to she's going to Rotax California, Rotax Club California Junior Academy on board. Do you know when you look at those blue skies, and this is what soak this in, everyone. The skies overhead are bright blue, and we're at Silverstone for a global final. And this is a global final. Rotax Racing Club Finals. It's on the global karting calendar. So you've got to be so careful. Oh, you can see the understeer just a little bit there for our onboard driver into the switchback sections. Now look at the hands, look at the gloves. One turn, correct, another quick turn there. We're not soaring away and hacking away at the steering wheel over and over again, are we?
Such precision.
Yeah, and it's hard, precision is harder in one of these karts because they're slightly heavier. The tyres are, slightly, we're saying about the lap times coming. You said earlier, obviously the tyres are harder to make them last longer.
Yes.
They're more durable.
Yes. The tyre pressure also selected to allow them to be quick over a whole qualifying, whole practice, whole race and whole race weekend. Although I believe we are having new tyres for the racing tomorrow, as far as I'm aware.
But everyone will have new tyres at the same time.
Every single kart will get exactly the same treatment at exactly the same time throughout the race weekend. But you're right, Henry, these karts, compared to, let's say, for some of the people who maybe not so familiar with the Rotax Racing Club, compared to an owner-driver kart, a senior Rotax, for example, those karts are very light, nimble, stuck to the road. These karts are designed to be somewhat more durable. Of course, they're being raced all day. and therefore the karts float around a bit more. Your angle, the sliding, and the angle of the kart, the angle of the tyre over the road is higher. You're effectively doing a slightly longer, prolonged drift through the corners. The length of time you spend in every corner is longer as well.
Yes.
So therefore, as a proportion of the lap, you spend more time turning
the
as
wheel.
well. So
yes.
there's all of that goes into it, and it's a separate skill in itself.
Now, on the timing and scoring screen now, obviously this is effectively the same qualifying session so qualifying 2, so let's get this, and this will really roll off the tongue. I'll give it its full title, and then I'll give you my title. So this is Junior Super Lightweight Group A Qualifying 2.
Yes.
Now, effectively, this is the same session, on-track session, as Junior Super Lightweight Group A Qualifying 1. In terms of the drivers start this session with their lap time from session number 1, and you've just got to try and improve that.
Effectively, yes, Henry, you're absolutely right. The fastest driver in that Group A qualifying 1, which was a little while ago, was Logan McAllister. He did a 109.420. So Logan McAllister, who's currently top, has to try and beat that time.
Now, this is where I'm going to get a little bit...
He doesn't have to.
I'm
going
to get dazed and confused here.
Go on, Henry.
Because on our timing screens, it's got Logan McAllister a 109.696. He's just set that.
Yes.
But that's not the qualifying order. That's not the overall ranking in terms of qualifying. It's the overall, what we got on our screen, that's the overall ranking for this session, but not every driver will take the lap time they earned from this session. Some of them will take it from qualifying 1. And so, yeah, it's going to be a challenge to tell you who is improving on the overall grid, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Because Jack Bromham, a 109.985. I think a 109.59. This is strange. Is the circuit gripping up and getting a little bit slower now the temperatures have risen?
Well, in theory, the sun has come out, so the circuit temperature may be raising. That can sometimes have an adverse effect on the overall speed of the circuit. And let's not forget, these karts have also been driven around and around for the last hour or so since they were last out on circuit. And as much as the Dunlop tyres that are fitted to these karts are very durable, the nature of tyres being made of rubber means that the more they are used, the more that the grip diminishes. Slowly, in our case, but it does happen. So basically, in terms of the drivers, if I'm one driver in a session, I've got my group, whatever group I'm in, A or B, I have a qualifying 1 and a qualifying 2. My goal is to set the fastest possible lap I can in both sessions, and I will take my best qualifying lap. The fastest lap I do over the 2 qualifying sessions, everyone gets put in order. Then from there, we then form the grids for the heats. Basically, that's how it works.
So if you don't improve your best lap in this session, you take your time from qualifying 1.
Yes.
That's what sets your time for the grid.
And then if you do improve it in this session, then you take your lap time from qualifying 2. The reason, part of the reason that this
Formula 1 back in the day.
Yeah, the part of the reason for this in this event is that qualifying is a vital part of any sprint racing event. We know it. Any driver that's done a sprint racing event knows that if you qualify badly, it's going to be an uphill race weekend from there. If you qualify well, things start well. The nature of hire kart racing, where you don't get to select your kart, the kart is selected for you, is that there are minuscule differences between the karts. However, if you get, let's say, a kart that is on the lower end of the spectrum, you don't get stuck with that qualifying position. You have a second opportunity, because the likelihood of you getting the same kart in the next qualifying is almost zero.
Oh yes, because the karts are rotated in the pits all the time, so we're not.
And you don't even know which kart is which, because the karts do not have the numbers on each driver. Their numbers stay with the driver. The karts look identical. Even the Club 100 mechanics don't know which kart is which. If they see a kart that they think is not performing at the same level, they will test it and check it out. But there's not even any way of determining which one is which. Such is the fairness of this way that this event is set up.
Now there is the gantry, the spectator viewing gantry, outside Box Pizza. I have been to many kart circuits, For those, oh dear, who was that, Piers? That was someone's mum, without a doubt.
Almost certainly a mum looking very, very nervous.
Yes. Amboise Dulari, Dulewa is now P2 behind Logan McAllister. That will be Amboise's best lap. Fantastic for Amboise. The 55 gets all out of shape. Alex Rattan coming through the chicane. There's the 67. Louis Munford leading that train there. Now we'll wait and see. These drivers heading up through Express Curve into Priory. There is, was number 11? Was that? Yeah, the number 11. Number 11 is Jack Bromham, currently 4th. So, Logan McAllister, the fastest man in this session, is still on a lap. Finley Strang and Jack Bromham, well, William Harvey to P4 in this session. We're waiting for Jack Bromham and we're waiting for Mason Turner. Everyone else has crossed the line. Any improvements? No. Not at all. Well, Logan McAllister doesn't improve his lap from session number 1, but then again, nobody else did either. And therefore, McAllister, nobody else improved their best lap on this session on their last lap. So I don't know the final grids for the 2 heat races. Each driver competes in one of the 2 heats tomorrow. We're talking about, the people watching from the gantry outside Box Pizza. This is something that tells you a little bit about the nature, the idea of this circuit. In the morning, the only kart circuit I've been to, you can't get a bacon roll. You get lots of healthier options. You can get lots of yogurt. You can get lots of, pastries, not healthy, but they're still, better. You can get lots of food here at Silverstone that drivers actually need to help them as athletes. Box Pizza serves some absolutely stunning food. If you buy the hot lap pizza, then you be warned, she hot. Piers, well, he has 3 of them for breakfast every morning. Isn't that right, Piers?
Yeah, Henry, I'm on pizza count 3 already for this week, and that's going to improve and increase. Anyway, back to the racing. Logan McAllister Brown, fastest again.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. That whole session felt more hooked up than last time, so yeah, I'm very pleased.
But interestingly, your lap time was 2 and a bit tenths slower than the first session.
Really?
Yeah, so you'll probably keep your time from the first session.
Yeah, well, most likely. It could be something to do with the temps and the tyres falling off, so...
Yeah. Did it feel much different out on circuit, considering the tyres are a bit slower?
Not really. It's kind of the same.
What's the secret to going so fast around here? Because you've done it twice now, fastest in both sessions of your group.
I think it's mainly being very smooth on the steering around here and going in hard on the brakes, especially with these new brake discs. I think that's what they've changed on the karts. You can go very hard into the corner, so yeah.
You look like you're enjoying yourself out there.
It's very fun, yeah.
Amazing. Congratulations. Our fastest driver in super lightweight Group A in both sessions, Logan McAllister, almost certainly will be going from the front row at least. We'll find out whether it's pole position later on. Back to you, Henry.
Thank you very much, Piers. In this session, our camera kart is number 16, Paige Martin. There she is. Number 16 for Junior Superlight, Paige Martin. She has done 2 seasons of Club 100 karting in the UK. Wow. She did 1 year of Club 100, and then she did 1 year of Rotax Racing Club UK, which is it's now its official title. There she is, going into that I'm still getting used to onboard camera. That's coming into Club, so probably Club Ireland now. Then here we go through this. this chicane and into the switchback section. Paige Martin. Now, I didn't see where she finished in her first qualifying session. Got to say, this looks like quite a decent lap. Early on in the session, you heard the man in the previous interview talk about not sure whether Logan McAllister, not sure whether the track is going off, the tyres are going off. Maybe we'll see most of the pole positions times that would have set in group number 1. Silverstone is actually partly responsible for Formula 1 moving from 2 qualifying sessions to 1. Because back in the late 80s and very early 1990s, BBC Grandstand would show the qualifying sessions. And of course it would all be, into a multi-sport programme. Formula 1's, hour of coverage was really important. It couldn't be moved around. But then Silverstone one year, Friday practice, brilliant. Saturday, poured with rain. Nobody ever knew they weren't going to improve their time because the track conditions were so. So for 60 minutes, we had lots of aerial photos of spectators, of marshals, and no cars on circuit. Not a single one. Because the forecast for Sunday was dry. Everyone's like, well, we're already in. The 26 that qualified are already in. We'll sit back. And the 4 who hadn't qualified are thinking to themselves, well, what can we do? Nothing. So after a couple of episodes of no cars on circuit during Grandstand, I think Formula 1 realised that that's not a good look for us. Let's make sure that qualifying, no matter the weather, has cars in it.
Yeah, it's quite hard to sell motor racing and show it off when there is no motors racing. But plenty of that today, 20 karts on circuit in every single session today.
Yep.
And this is, as you mentioned, Henry, Group B qualifying 2. And Edgar Azevedo once again leading the way. It hasn't improved his time from the first part of Group B yet. So very similar looking sessions. It was Logan McAllister that was fast in Group A Session 1 and Group A Session 2. At the moment, Azevedo is looking like he's going to repeat his Group B Session 1 time topping. But as you mentioned, Henry, it seems like the sun coming out has impacted the circuit conditions, maybe contributed to also by the tyres wearing as they've been used as well. So Session 1 may have been crucial. If you didn't hook up your lap early on, then you may well be resigned to that position that you had in that session, or that time at least.
And when we got to the circuit this morning, Piers, we were looking down and it rained. There'd been a bit of significant rain over the circuit overnight.
Yes.
Our hotel, all of 3 miles from the circuit, 4 miles from the circuit.
But as the crow flies, probably a mile and a half, isn't it?
Yeah. Didn't see it at all. Remarkable.
It's interesting, though, how circuits conditions can change over a race, over a day, over a race weekend. Sometimes, at some circuits, a little sprinkle of rain, once it then dries, the circuit can go quicker.
It can.
And
100%.
Other times when the clouds go in, it gets slower. Other times when the sun comes out, it gets slower, which we've seen today. And then also you have to factor in the fact that, of course, these tyres have been running all afternoon as well, because same karts for all of the sessions, the junior super lightweight, the junior lightweight, the senior lightweight and the senior heavyweight, same karts, just different weight categories. And juniors are 18 years and under, seniors are 18 years and older, and then sub-weight categories for each of those. Looking at the times now, are we having any improvements? We are having improvements. Sam Burnell has just gone 6th up a position. Kieran Steadman's gone up 4. We've had a couple of warnings as well for track limits. Fawaz Adra, just outside the top 10. Tyler Toves just nipped inside the top 10 as well. Plenty of movement still in this session. Some of these drivers, even though the fastest driver in this session may not improve his time, drivers lower down the order may well improve their time and therefore good position for their heats, which are coming up tomorrow morning.
Yeah, Fawaz Adra. Spoke to Fawaz. He was a bit worried. Doesn't want to not make the final. You know, he's here representing the UAE. And I said to him, do you think that if you don't make the final, I said, how many people race in the UAE? So how many people race in Rotax Racing Club UAE? He was like, 10. Okay. And this is what's going to make the achievements of some of the overseas drivers even more impressive. is that the drivers have qualified for this event through Rotax Racing Club UK. They're up against 30, 40, 50 drivers every single week in all the different various championships run by Club 100.
There's a North and a South championship in the UK.
Yes.
The UK isn't even very big.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's, and yet, the drivers that compete against 4 or 5 others, they come here. Let's have a look. Where is Fawaz Adra? 13th, 9/10 of a second off. It is harder for them because the level of Rotax Racing Club competition varies from nation to nation, and
due to a number of factors.
Yes, and I think that in 3 or 4 years' time, once this concept has grown and we've taken this event to truly global, then you will see, the talent from every country being a little evenly matched. But at the moment, you have to consider that the 7 different national Rotax Racing clubs, they operate in far more different circumstances than others. So you can't just judge one driver against the other, like for like.
But a rising tide raises all ships,
It
and
does.
this is the first tide, Henry.
Do you know what?
First tide.
No, it is.
The sea comes in.
The early tide. This is, oh yes, a rising tide helps all ships. Is that right?
Raises all ships.
Raises all ships. That's outstanding.
It's not. I didn't coin the phrase.
No, I know. I've heard it before. It's got a rising tide. Yes, it's. It is true. So we're gonna see these, drivers from the smaller club nations go back, and they will be so much better for this experience, and their rivals will then improve, and that is how you generally improve the results of your country. It takes time. You need to retain your champions, and if your champions aren't still racing, then whether you throw a couple of quid at them and say, can you be our race academy tutor, driver coach, then that's how you keep them in the sport.
Ellis Mackenzie, second place now. Edgar Azevedo, fastest again, but not improving the time he set earlier. Edgar did a 109.309 in this session, a 109.667. That roughly matches up with the time drop for Logan McAllister of about 2.5 to 3/10. So it seems like the circuit conditions have indeed slowed up a little bit in the time between session 1 and session 2. Oh, we've got a driver off. That's our pace kart driver.
Oh,
looks
dear.
like that's turn 1. Gone off quite a long way there, actually.
Backwards.
Yeah, backwards off at turn 1. Let's have a look and catch an eye on who that is.
I think. Let's have a look. Now, let's play the
camera's cut 16.
It's
Paige
Paige,
Martin.
Yes. Now, judging by the way she's kneeling and the angle of that cart, she went into the braking zone for turn number 1 on the outside line and just caught her right rear. I wasn't even drinking last night. Right rear wheel on the grass. That has pitched her backwards into the tyres. Yellow flags waving. Just as well, so the last set of laps, nobody improving. There is driver number 13. Let's have a look at the replay of Paige Martin. Let's see what happened. Did she drop a wheel on the outside? No, she didn't. Nothing. Oh, now there's a strange one. Is it? That's a very strange accident, that is. It looks like there were no brakes on that kart. Now, we heard talking about how there might be new brakes on the front of the kart. Just wondered if something went wrong with one set of them. Now, there you go. So you've got 20 drivers there, another 5 karts, plus 20. So I don't know how many karts there, but they're in 2 lanes. So it's not a case of, race 1 comes in and they all line up or they finished, and then the pole sitter of race 2 just walks across and gets into the winner of race 1's karts because that is the first in line. Doesn't quite work like that. You've got to move the karts around. So you've got more karts than drivers. It means that first of all, Piers Pryor is ready, and you're about to see Kieran Mogg on camera, potentially.
All right.
Thanks very much, Henry. Yeah, down here I'm going to hopefully grab a word with Edgar Azevedo, a fastest driver once again in Group B, the second time he's been fastest today. The sun beating down is extremely hot now. Very, very good weather conditions. We're going to back up because Edgar's just made his way into the pits now. The sun beating down the circuit, air temperature's certainly risen, track temperature will have risen. These Dunlop tyres have done a lot of running today, and Edgar Azevedo is just here. Edgar, you okay to get up for us? I think you're okay. Everyone else has to stay down.
Thank you very much for waiting. Grab your stuff.
Edgar, we'll do that in a second. Chat to me first. You've got time, don't worry. We'll wait for you because you're the fastest. Edgar Azevedo, once again fastest in Group B for the second time. Looks like lap time not improved though. Circuit conditions not quite what they were earlier on.
It's not yet. It's got quite hot now, so I think the tyres overheated towards the end, so could really push for a better lap.
Do you reckon, looking ahead to tomorrow for the heats and then the finals, is that something you're going to have to consider between heats, pre-final, final, how the kart's going to handle in terms of getting the most out of the machinery?
Of course, yeah, I have to look at the weather all the time, you know. The kart handles slightly different every session, so I have to always adapt every session to the kart.
But you've adapted well because top both times, that time by 1/10.5, which is a pretty good gap considering how close it is. What's been the secret for you today? You've clearly turned up prepared, you feel good in the kart, but what have you been doing to get the most out there on circuit?
Just preparation. Mental preparation is key, you know. So
well, tell us a bit about it, what you've been doing, because a lot of people are watching at home. They're not racing at the Rotax Racing Club finals. They're at home. They maybe want to get involved in years to come, or they're racing at indoor karting or at a club level. What do you do to make sure that you're prepared?
Just stay in the zone, you know. When I just don't talk to anyone if you don't feel like it, you know. Be in your zone and then do your best.
What are you thinking about ahead of a session?
Just be more relaxed, calm down a bit, and just focus on my driving.
And focus you did. Top both sessions, congratulations. You'll be at least on the front row. We'll see how that plays out and when all the lap times come in later on.
Perfect, thank you.
No worries, Edgar Azevedo there. He was fastest in Junior Super Lightweight Group B. Next up, Junior Lightweight Group A, Session 2.
Thank you, Piers. What a beautiful sight. Formula One grandstands, white roofs, blue seating in the background. They are silent because all eyes are on this paddock. The Club 100 British, home of British Motorsport paddock. Club 100, now Rotax Racing Club UK. There is a breeze, which is we're all very grateful for, I have to say. There is a look at some of the contenders for this, the Junior Super Light Group. No, it's now Junior Light Group A. The juniors, the Junior Lights, not quite as quick as the Senior Lights. The Junior Lights not quite as quick as the Junior Super Lights. Do apologise. There is driver number 10, Callum Boot.
Here we go, Henry.
Sitting and waiting. We're going to be going qualifying very soon.
Yes, indeed. Yes, all the while you can see the heat haze rising from the circuit. I mentioned it just then, Henry. The last 10-15 minutes, the circuit conditions.
It's got warm.
It's got warm. It's got very warm.
Proper warm.
The practice sessions this morning, it was actually somewhat cool, I would say, compared to what it's been in the UK, but now the sun very much out. The wind has also changed. It was a slight headwind, so a side wind from the driver's left going to start finish. It's just flipped around a little bit now, pretty much sort of nearly a tailwind, so that will affect things as well, because it'll affect the speed at which drivers arrive at those big braking zones.
There's a southwesterly wind, there's a south wind up here a little bit.
Thank you, Henry.
And drivers. Now there is what we mean by so the driver that comes in first in a race doesn't necessarily park at the very front of the queue, so that's not the kart that the next driver that is on pole position has.
No.
So you know, they're there's way more karts than drivers here.
Yes, and also when we have heats tomorrow, we'll talk about this at length tomorrow. The karts that win heats, the front few, and it will change every time, will get rotated to the back.
Right,
so that they get jumbled up, and then those that start at the back, so that you don't end up with a filtering of good karts towards the front and bad karts. And we say good versus bad. We're talking a tenth or two, maybe. And we know it's a tenth or two at most, because the Club 100 team, who have been setting up these karts for Rotax Racing Club, they have been testing these karts back to back. There is a team, a genuine team of experienced drivers who have gone round side by side with lap timers on, testing them back to back and making sure that all the karts are within the tolerance, which is at most a couple of tenths of a second. And they are continually monitoring the karts throughout the weekend. Drivers can, if they feel that after a session their kart has not been up to scratch, they can bring it in and it will get tested. It won't get put out in the next session. And the team will also be looking at karts that are faster than they should be.
Yes, but so Club 100 mechanics aren't just mechanics.
No.
They're like scientists and engineers, measuring everything down to the latest to make sure that every parameter is as equal as possible.
Yes. Here we go, though. Drives out on circuit. A few drivers side by side already out of the pits.
Oh, cone abuse the background now. Okay, so driver didn't see the number, crested the rise, and just the rear left, the right rear of his kart sent 2 cones skittling off. That is penalty, yes?
That will, if it was spotted, which it almost certainly will be, with spotters out on circuit and a number of cameras, over 20 cameras on circuit, they will have spotted that, and if they get the number, then that driver will be expecting a penalty, which I think is a position drop for qualifying.
Yes, and of course it's harder and because the karts all look the same, you can't, decide to say, oh, well, what's that number? Oh, that was that driver, I know that, because it was Strawberry Racing, because that was a Tony kart, but, etc., etc. That was Dan Holland Racing. So it's the karts, all the same.
Absolutely.
All the same.
Only difference is the number that's bolted on and the driver that sits in the seat.
That's exactly right. Haven't got any times up yet. 9.5 minutes to go, however.
Yes, just started this session. Fastest first sector at the moment. It's getting changed sector by sector, but it looks like, surprise, surprise, Jamie Tiley Gooden once again, the fastest driver. He was head and shoulders above everyone else in the first group session earlier on. He is starting off this session as he means to go on. Let's have a look back at the senior lightweights qualifying earlier on and what a good time was in that one. So this was group qualifying A. Jamie Tiley Gooden was in Group B, my mistake. Oh no, I'm looking at the seniors. Of course, this is juniors, it's not. Junior lightweight Group A. Heading through the final corner. We've mentioned it before. Probably the most important corner on the circuit due to this absolutely whopping straight down towards turn 1 through and then along turn 1, Wellington. Then we flick right. That's the turn 2 of stage. The little flick left, Jimmy's. Jimmy Clark, and then we go through Brooklands corner. We've seen most of the cone abuse this weekend through this Maggots and Beckett section, only just or not quite flat out. That was close. That was as much curb as you want to take through there without hitting the cones, but you can see how much commitment the drivers are giving themselves at that point of the circuit. Then we head downhill through Bridge, then up through Express, this left kink towards Priory. Junior lightweight Group A qualifying 2. Can anyone buck the trend that we've seen in recent times of no improvement in time in these second sessions? The sun continues to beat down. Local time here, 3:53 in the afternoon. So sun is still pretty strong here in the middle of the United Kingdom in England. That is your 19, the fastest driver from earlier on, Jamie Tiley Gooden. And he was fastest in qualifying 1. Let's have a look and see what time he did do. It was a 1:09.8 from Jamie in that first Group A qualifying. And at the moment, fastest time 10.4, but we know that these tyres and karts get faster as the session goes on. Fastest in Group B is a 10.2, Ollie White. So we're looking for times in the low 10s, low 10s, late 9s would be a very, very good time. Tyler Gooden making advantage of a small mistake from the number 10, who just slipped wide on the exit. The 10 is Callum Boot. Uphill once again towards Express Curve, the heavy braking zone. We heard from Adam Nather in the heavyweights that is a place on the circuit where braking point and braking technique is crucial for getting a lap time. That was where he found a bit of time between session 1 and session 2, or practice and his first qualifying session. Technical final sector, Tyler Gooden, we're still having a look at there. In the white suit with the silver flashes. Heading into the penultimate corner on the circuit. That is Museum. Over the line once more. 10-4, Anthony Roberts leads the way, but I think times are going to start to tumble. Correct, Tyler Gooden initially goes fastest, but Jacob Marples now the pace at 10-4. We're getting dangerously close to those times that we saw earlier on. Reminder, Tyler Gooden needs to best a 9.8, or 1:09.8. The drivers will take their fastest lap time from session 1 and session 2. Not seen many drivers be able to improve heavily as the 20 goes back up the inside of Tyler Gooden. Jonas Klimas improving. He's now in 5th place. Jacob Marple. So these two on circuit, they know each other from racing in the UK. They know that they are going to be pace setters. Tyler Gooden did get through, but then Marples passed him straight back, says, no, I want the track position, I want the clear air. Will that come back to bite him? Will that give Tyler Gooden a bit of an extra tone? Who's this getting involved in the black? The black helmet up the inside of Tyler Gooden, that's the 25. Anthony Roberts, he's currently sitting 3rd. So these drivers, 1st, 2nd, 3rd in this group, 1st, 2nd, 3rd as well in the overall order. Times falling. I'm seeing green sectors being placed for lots of the drivers further down the order. And Ricciardi improves his time, stays in 7th, up 1 position actually. Track limits warnings coming in. Samuel Chilton's got a track limit warning. Dawood Sneezko has a warning. Fionn Lyons, Ethan Saunders, Leela Kaufman, Ethan Saunders, Wilkes. All these drivers have been pushing absolutely to the limits of the circuit, potentially a bit more. Tyler Gooden continues to push on as he chases down both Marples and Roberts. Heading to the middle of Silverstone circuit, turn 1, 2, 3, the Maggots and Beckett section, that first sector especially. Very high average speed, the kart flows nicely, it's all about carrying minimum speed. And then there's this very, very technical, slow average speed but high precision final end to the lap, where line discipline, where the drivers have to place the kart exactly in the right place on the lap. Brake softly, get the kart rotated. You barrel too much speed into those slower corners and you can expect to lose tenths of a second, not hundredths. Fastest now, Ollie Brunel Weil. Brilliant lap from him, a 10.4. What did he do in his first? Ollie Brunel Weil, he did a 10.39, so he's actually only a couple of hundredths away from improving his lap time. So that would see him gain a few positions on his starting grid in the heats. Downhill once again through Bridge Corner. You can hear the tyres squealing, crying enough. Temperature going up and a driver just pulling over there, trying to find a nice space, trying to find a toe to try and improve that time. Up the inside into Priory once again we go. Heading their way through. It's interesting, Henry. We're seeing different techniques. We've seen some drivers ducking forward for the human DRS, other drivers leaning backwards.
Okay. Old school or new school? Old school is leaning forward, tucking your head down behind the dash panel.
Yeah.
New school, started by the Japanese about 10 years ago, where you lean back, lift your knees up, so the airflow goes over the top. And then you have there's new school, red race suit, that's new school. Old school, number 95. And then you've got up and under, which is where you crouch and hold the steering wheel at the top with your arms underneath it from the back.
Yeah.
So in the live chat, old school, new school, or up and under, what's your preference? I was just having a great conversation with Owen Genman out in the back of the pits there as I was doing my weather check. And Owen he says he's been doing this for so long. Did a bit of owner-driver racing, just was like, I can't afford it, but I want to keep racing. Has done Easy Kart Club 100 for so long. Just talking about the level of talent in the field. Really, really, really good. Owen's going to be driving for Titan Motorsport in the team trophy on Sunday.
Yeah. Two O'Neills. Genman and Philippou.
Yes.
I believe for Titan for Sunday.
Yes, I was going to say two O'Neills. What's that? Paul O'Neill and no, you've
got Andy's brother and Jack's brother.
Yes. They're racing Titan Motorsport along with. I mean, we've got some. There's some YouTubing celebrities. Well, that's YouTubing celebrities. They are, aren't they? Steve Alvarez Brown, Super GT.
Yeah.
Will be racing. No, he's a YouTuber, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Is he a YouTube celebrity? Yes, I would say so. Yeah.
And all-round nice guy.
An all-round nice guy. Yes, I have to say. 1 minute to go. We got to whoa! Stop presses, ladies and gentlemen. Stop the presses. The Welsh flag, courtesy of Anthony Roberts. Certainly, that's got to be the best lap time of the day. If it's not, make it so, Captain Carl. No, joke.
I don't think
Welshman
it is.
at the top of the chart.
I don't think it is, unfortunately.
There we
Tyler
go.
Gooden did a 9.8 in the first of the Group A qualifying session. So not the fastest we've seen, but I think an improvement for Roberts, who did where are we? Yeah, definitely an improvement for Roberts. I'm having to scroll so far that I can't. I might be blind. He did a 10.06, so actually, even though he is fastest, he's still 2 tenths away from his best lap today. So
Roberts.
Yeah.
A 10.2.
Anthony Roberts, he was 5th fastest in Group A Session 1.
Well, there is Anthony Roberts with the black race suit, the orange lapels, chasing the. That's number 25. He's chasing the other driver with the black race suit, the orange lapels. Number 15. For those of you that are colourblind, it's the driver in front with the white crash helmet, the driver in second with the black crash helmet. It's like trying to watch snooker on a black and white TV, isn't it? For those of you watching on a black and white TV, the white ball is the one situated just behind the green.
I think you're showing your age a little bit there, Henry.
Well, watch Pot Black on there. Now, so there is now. That's Tylee Gooden in the middle. Now the number 39 and the number 24. The 39 is David Snitsko, and the number the second car was the number 24 Enzo Ricciati. A bit of hand gesturing as the end of junior lightweight Group A qualifying 2. The junior lights. Well, Tylee Gooden breaks Welsh hearts on the last lap as he sets a lap of a 1:10.18. Rest of the drivers cross the line. There's the 75 crossing the line. That was Ashton Woolger, who is 17th at the moment, ahead of Lena Kaufman, Spencer Rust. Now I said, is it Roast? It's Spencer Rust, Dutch heritage for the English driver. Jamie Tyler Gooden with a Gooden there, 1:10.1. Anthony Roberts second, Ollie Brunel Weil, Ethan Saunders Wilkes, Jacob Marples, Enzo Ricciati, David Snitsko, Seth Dodds, Jonas Klimas, James McLaughlin, followed by Morgan Humphreys, Mason Watson, Tom Justice, Samuel Chilton, Finn Irons, Jaden Giles, Ashton Woolger, Leela Kaufman, Spencer Rust, and Callum Boot. Now see, there is the drivers going out, and you can see on the right hand side of your screen, coiled like a spring with 2 pasty legs. It's Piers Pryor.
Henry, yes, we're going to grab a word with Jamie Tylee Gooden once again, fastest in junior lightweight Group A qualifying 2. Jamie, again fastest on circuit, but no improvement in time. We've seen in the last few sessions the circuit's not where it once was, but that must give you confidence. 2 different karts, 2 different qualifying sessions, fastest in both.
Yeah, I'm definitely confident going in tomorrow. Obviously this session, no improvement on time because it got a bit hotter, but yeah, definitely happy with the pace, and we'll see what we can do tomorrow.
Did you know know going into that session that you were unlikely to improve?
Yeah, definitely. I've heard a few other drivers saying, oh, it's a bit less grippy out there, it's definitely getting a bit hotter in the air, so yeah.
Did you approach the session differently, thinking, well, I'm unlikely to improve? Did you try a few different things, a bit more experimenting out there?
No, I kind of really just got my head down, do what I always do, try and see if we can go any quicker, but yeah.
Next time we go racing, or next time we're on circuit, it will be racing tomorrow for the heats. Looking forward to that?
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I don't know how really people are going to race, so yeah, it should be a challenge, but we'll see. We'll give it a good shot.
I'm sure you will. Well, you're going to be going from the front row at the very least. Who knows, maybe pole position.
Yep.
Good day at the office?
Definitely, yeah.
Good day at the office of Jamie Tiley-Gooden. Let's have a look at Junior Lightweight Group B qualifying 2. That's out on circuit now.
Thank you, Piers. On track, that's the number 14, David Souksfarkas. Hello, we talk about people watching their compatriots around the world. Hello, Miami. It is, it's late morning in Miami, where Luke Konjanapatak, who races both Owner Driver Racing and Rotax Racing Club California, and yes, occasionally Luke and his dad Tang go and race in California. Not enough to qualify for this event, but they're watching the US drivers. Hello to Luke and Tang Konjanapatak. So I'm flirting. No, I'm flitting between the Alpha Live YouTube channel and the Rotax Karting YouTube channel as we watch the number 23 sending it in to that Leo Engels, the GX UK Junior O-Plate winner, former driver, 17 years old. Oh, great kart control there from Benjamin Hamilton. No, in the number 26, Benjamin Hamilton in the 26, all out of shape coming in to Priory, and he caught it into the back end of that kart hanging out. She's a bit of an old loosey-goosey, is the kart that Hamilton is driving at the moment. There's the number 33, Max Sheldon Haywood. Out of farm. Across the line, the 16 leads this group through turn number 1. The number 16 is Josh Taylor. And Piers, again, you know, now we get on to this is the end of junior qualifying. At the end of this, we've only got 4 sessions to go. Time doth fly when one is having funneth. Does thou not agreeeth with me?
I like karting, Henry. It always goes quickly.
I sound a bit like Chris Eubank if Chris Eubank was a gladiator.
Or from South Wales.
Or from South. Yes.
This is right. Interesting. I don't know whether you heard much of the interview I had there with Jamie Tiley.
I did. Yes.
You were listening.
I was listening. I listened to every interview.
Thank you, Henry. Very kind. Interesting that most of the drivers now, they've realised that if they got a good lap in the first session, they're unlikely to improve. So I think some of these drivers will be changing their mindset, going, right, this isn't a qualifying session now. This is a glorified practice session.
Yes.
This is also, if they haven't driven this circuit a huge amount, where can I overtake? How can I overtake?
This is revision 101 for the heat race tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly that, because they're all aware that the next time they're out on circuit, by a couple of laps practice, they are going to be racing for the first time. They're unlikely to change their grid position greatly unless they had a really shocking first qualifying. So this is now interesting. There will also be a bit of, I think, posturing, Henry, in terms of not all of these drivers, because it's an international event, drivers have come from around the globe.
Yeah.
They won't have raced against some of these drivers. They don't know what all of these drivers race like, because you and I know, having raced, anyone at home who's raced to a decent level will know that some drivers race you in a way that other drivers might not. And
yes.
And you have to try to get to know the strengths and weaknesses and the temperament of the drivers around you, and where they may be strong, where they may not be strong, where there are opportunities. So some of that may have already begun.
Yeah, you're looking, and again, this is the number 33, Sheldon Haywood, going lots of races. Yes, you're seeing racing in qualifying, not qualifying. In a north, because the experienced drivers think, well, there's no point. I mean, I'm not going to set a better time. Let's work on racecraft.
Yes, and also the drivers who haven't raced it against each other a huge amount will be sussing out which drivers can I work with, which drivers
who
will
can I
not
trust?
work
Who
with.
can I trust?
Who can I trust? And as much as trust is a loose term when you're racing for yourself, because ultimately you know that every driver is out there, that given the chance, they will beat you, and absolutely happily. But it's what driver can I will work for the greater good, and what other drivers will fight every inch of the circuit like it's the last corner of the last lap. Because there are those drivers that exist, and do you know what? Everyone has the right to race their race as they so wish, as long as it's within the rules.
That is their prerogative to do that.
Absolutely.
We're going to carry on with who's watching from where. Hello to David Griffiths, 4 of Dan Griffiths' family members watching from Maryland, UK. Maryland, UK. Well, David Griffin, right? He must have just heard this. Dan Griffin, sorry. Must have heard you. He's just gone fastest. A 1:10.603. Now, if you're in Maryland, Dan's family, then you could go to the go-kart track in Baltimore, which was set up by Jarrett King, who is currently the fastest driver in senior heavies. There we go. Karting is such a small world. Hello to Gareth Lally, supporting Kira Boylan. Kira Boylan up to 18th position. The number 71, Abdullah Al Ali. Abdullah Al Ali, again, he was so nervous. I was chatting to him. He said, I'm not fast. I said, I'm not fast. I said, you are fast. He said, but I'm down at the back. I said, you race against 4 other people in Rotax Racing Club UAE. You know, this first season. How can anybody expect to come to a global event in a grid of 40 where virtually every single one of the drivers with the British flag next to their name are racing in a grid of 40 every single Club 100 event?
And at this event as well.
Yes.
Sorry, this venue.
At this venue, on home soil. Yeah. Even, where some of them have got more experience. Now, who are we looking at now in that insert? We shall find out who that is. This is Junior Lights. Well, that wasn't a junior driver that we were looking at in the insert.
Certainly.
So there's number 22. That is Jamie Riches. Again,
we've got a tie, Henry.
Oh
no, we don't. Yes, we do. We have a tie for the fast lap in this session. A 10.455 from both Benjamin Hamilton and Dan Griffin. 0.000 is the difference separating the fastest 2 drivers in this session.
Now, is the tie break the driver's second best quickest lap, or is the tie break which driver set that time first?
It is the second. If there is a tie break for times when we eventually set our grids, it will be the second fastest lap. And if they're the second fastest lap then is tied, it goes to who set their fastest lap first on circuit. So whether either if you're in the same session who did it on the earliest point, or if you're in a different session, then the session that came first gets the time.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that's a good clarification. Thank you, Piers. And you can see Dan Griffin, family, a whooping and a hollering in Maryland, USA. What do you notice, Piers?
Benjamin Hamilton is getting dangerously close to improving his lap time. In his first session this morning, a 10.358. He's now a 10.45, so only a tenth away. So he's bucking the trend at the moment, getting close to his fastest time. Hasn't bested it quite yet, but
not too bad.
Could still be time.
Yes, but of course, if you didn't get a good lap in qualifying number 1, then you have to do everything you possibly can to make whatever improvement you can on your lap time in this one. Because there will be drivers who do their best lap in this session. They'll be starting towards the back, because if your best lap in this session is your fastest all day, when the track's not sure, you must have had,
in theory,
an absolute shocker.
In theory, you're leaving 2.5 tenths on the table, because it seems like every session we've had this afternoon has been about 2.5 tenths off what we had earlier. So, and 2.5 tenths, I mean, look at the grid at the moment. 2.5 tenths in this grid would put you in 11th place.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is ridiculous. I mean, that's actually, let's just have a look at that. 2.5 tenths 3/10, 14th place. Half a second, 17th place. There's only 20 karts out there.
Yeah, it is incredible. And that's up to 16th position. We got a new Ollie White, number 44, 1:10.350. Fastest in this session. There is Ollie going through Jimmy's curve. And now, that has to be my favourite camera angle. Just getting the karts appearing over that crest on the curb, 2 wheels in the air. The 33 and the 26. Well, the 26 is Benjamin Hamilton. The 33 kart, who is in front of Benjamin, that is Max Sheldon Hayward, who is 5th overall. So smart from Hamilton. And already drivers peeling into the pit lanes. Changed again. It's changed massively. The number 16, Josh Taylor, 1:12.2. Well, Piers is heading down the pit lane. 1900ths of a second separate the top 7. As I started speaking that sentence, Ollie White was on pole. He ends up 3rd behind Josh Taylor and David Snooks-Farkas. David Snooks-Farkas 2nd. Ollie White 3rd. Sheldon Hayward, Benjamin Hamilton, Dan Griffin, Josh Melling, Jonathan Fuchel, Leo Engels and Thomas Wellsford are your top 10. Look back, there's Abdullah Al-Ali. You meet some incredible people in this sport. Abdullah Al-Ali, he was concerned that Guy Sheffield would be cross at him for not making the A final. Guy Sheffield being the promoter. No, not at all. I'll finish that story after we speak to Piers Pryor. Go away, Piers. Take it away, Piers. Freudian slip.
Thanks, Henry. What an end to the session that was. Last lap's been crucial, and it was Josh Taylor that took the fast lap. Josh, you were fastest. Come over. Let's come have a chat. We can do that in a second. Yeah. The world waits for you when you're fastest on track, mate.
Sorry?
I said the world waits for you when you're fastest on track. There you go.
Yeah,
top of the session. Was that an improvement in time as well from your first session?
Definitely. I was not expecting that at all, to be honest.
That last lap was the one. You were not in the top 3 until the end.
Yeah. No, it felt good. The kart felt good, to be honest.
You're one of the few drivers that's managed to improve from session 1 to session 2. What did you do differently in that session?
I think I was just trying to get harder on the brakes, trying to get the car to slides, and then just catch it and cruise through the corner, to be honest.
Amazing. Was that anyone help you with that? Were you just having a look at what everyone else was doing, just a bit of feeling? What prompted those changes in your driving?
It was just a feel, to be honest. I thought I could push it harder, so I tried it and it clearly worked. So yeah, really happy with that.
So you'll be starting probably in the higher heats, higher up in the heats. Are you optimistic of a good result from those heats to get you in a good position for the pre-final?
Yeah, definitely. I'd definitely like to, try and improve and try and get a good podium here.
You raced here before?
Never.
Never before. So it's a good good start to your race weekend. Congratulations. That was our fastest driver in that one. We're now looking at the senior lightweight Group A qualifying 2. They're out on circuit, just getting up to speed.
Thank you very much, Piers. Hello on the live chat to Tom Justice, who is one of our competitors. This is something that, again, is very unique to this level or this classification of racing. Because a lot of times in two-stroke racing, everyone's so het up with their own thing, they don't bother to come onto the live chat and tell us about it. And when they do, they don't be as refreshingly honest as Tom Justice. Sorry to hear, Tom, that you got your lap deleted, your best lap deleted in qualifying 1, and then bottled it in qualifying 2. No justice for Tom. So yes, that's really good. And again, you have a driver, for those of you watching that did qualify, you've got a driver that is here in the live chat. So yeah, feel free to ask questions. Now, there is the human CAD machine, number 11, Giovanni Perez D'Amico. Sketches, angles, correct physically correct, mathematically correct corners written in his notebook with various notes and stuff like that.
He's struggling with some nomenclature there, Henry.
Yes, I was. Physically, but yeah, sorry, I told you to go. I said, let's go, and then I said, no, let's go away, Piers, instead of saying, take it away, Piers.
I came into this room and you were talking about maths and angles and looking very confused at yourself.
Yes, I'm talking about, but also because Giovanni Perez Amico has got the diagrams, the corner, he draws himself.
Yes, exactly.
Accurate,
as accurate as he can do in a notebook, and he sells them apparently.
Huh?
He sells them. He sells little track building notebooks.
Yeah, well, I mean, and Nicky Richardson, our
video referee,
one of our video referees in the next room. Nicky, the Club 100 test driver, has been for years. His track guides are legendary.
Mm-hmm.
His track guides are legendary. So, fair play to Giovanni Perez D'Amico for doing it. And Giovanni.
Well, it clearly works because he does it for himself and he's pretty rapid.
He is 40 rapid. Sorry, I just spat a crisp on you there. Sorry, Piers, that's terrible on me. It was a salt and vinegar crisp, by the way. It was very nice.
I could taste it from my leg. Wide goes Dante Dillon through turn 2. That's stage corner.
Handsome.
High, wide and handsome indeed. That's not going to help his lap time. You can see him urging the kart forward, heading through Maggots and Beckett's once again. It seems like everyone's sort of in this second qualifying session got to grips with that Maggots and Beckett session a bit more. We've had far fewer cone warnings in that section. A lot less dust being kicked up.
Yes, indeed. Talk about friends. Hello to all my friends at Next Level Karting, the Phoenix Kart Racing Association. They're cheering on Giovanni, who is from Phoenix, Arizona. If you want, well, I have been to, last year I went to Phoenix for a Rotax, the Rotax West Trophy. My goodness me, that's a warm place. Really, really nice part of the world. Really, I like Phoenix. Yes, it is roasting, but it's a really nice place. Met some really, really good people from Phoenix. I'm back there soon, but that is everyone from Next Level Karting in Phoenix. So I wonder, in years to come, as this concept, develops, we're going to have various circuits that are national sort of hotspots for Rotax Racing Club. Now, some championships, they will go around different circuits all over their nation. Others will be more locally based. And those we're going to be, in years to come, Piers Pryor and I will be throwing to watch parties around the world from the circuits that host Rotax Racing Club, where you're going to see the drivers that haven't made it yet this year or didn't qualify on this occasion. Yeah, it's going to be this is the type of community that we can build. Because you mentioned about people not knowing each other. The welcome party last night, you said that you could see it was a little bit tribal to start off with. Everyone sort of sticking in their own nations, and then by the end of the night, a couple of beverages, people were getting to know each other. This morning,
couple of beverages, lots of pizza.
Yes, lots of box pizza.
Very good pizza. As I said, I'm 3 down already this weekend. We've only been here 2 days.
I'm trying to lose weight so I can actually race in a Rotax Club UK event next year.
Are you?
I am. No, seriously, yes.
I'll join you.
After driving one of these karts, having been retired since 2008, I did one test at an E20 for Rotax, and that was tiring because and then after doing 8 laps at Alley Raceway in one of these karts, I had decided, number one, I need to lose weight, and number 2, I need to do this because this gives me the
fizz.
It gives me the buzz that only real racing gives you.
Do you know what?
That's the only way I can describe it.
You're talking my absolute language, Henry, because as someone, I raced for 15 years. I don't race very often nowadays because we're often doing this sort of thing on race weekends, Henry, which is great. I love it. But there's a buzz that everyone on circuit knows all too well. Otherwise, they wouldn't be travelling across the globe to come to the places like this to race. When you're racing on circuit and the racing is pure, the level is high, you are at your absolute limit, you are there trying to perform. There's almost nothing like it, and I mean this sincerely. There is genuinely almost nothing like it. The thrill you get of nailing a qualifying session, the disappointment of having a bad heat, the jubilation when you come through the field, and then if you are lucky enough to take victory, which I have done on a rare occasion, it genuinely makes all of the tough qualifyings and the tough heats and the travelling worth it, and it's a buzz that keeps bringing people back. And if anyone is watching this having never done karting, having never raced, or has never got involved in karting to the level of the Rotax Racing Club, I implore you, try it, even just once.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like it, great, but I don't reckon there's many of you watching this that wouldn't enjoy it and wouldn't find that it's something that you might want to do a whole lot more.
Yes, man like James King on camera, number 71. Where is he? Second in this session, behind Dante Dillon, but in front of session 1 pace setter Robert Crawford.
Yes, and there's something to be said about James King, because he is a very, very fast kart racer. He races a lot in endurance karting. A lot of people who aren't in karting, who do other sports, look at karting and think, you should sit down. It's not an athlete sport. You don't need to be fit. James King is setting out. I don't know whether this is a scoop or not. James, he told me to his face, so I think it's okay.
Yeah.
He is embarking on 2, not 1, but 2 solo 24-hour races next year in 2027. Solo 24 hours. Can you imagine doing anything for 24 hours?
Well, if you have a look at number 6, ladies and gentlemen, in the year of Sir David Attenborough's 100th birthday, we have found, finally, a brand new species of animal.
And it goes by the name.
It goes by the name of James King. Its Latin translation is to driver nuttingness. Driver nuttingness, because that is nuts.
And James is absolutely no slouch. He's showing that in this session, going P2 at the moment with the 10.7, but also he's done 5 times 24 hours wins in Europe, whether it be the UK, France. I think he's done some in Spain as well. He's done 6-hour solos. He's done 10 hours recently at Milton Keynes, and he's a driver that can lap very quickly for a very, very long time. So I expect him to be still pretty fresh by the end of the final, having had a lot of track time this weekend.
Yes, at the end of this final. God, this is just like,
He'll be just warmed up.
Yeah, just warmed up. Now, there is Jack O'Neill, 1 minute 10.501. There he is.
Improvement. Jack was rapid in testing this morning, one of the fastest drivers in this category. Disappointing qualifying 1 for Jack O'Neill by his own standards. He did a 10.729, so an improvement in this session and an improvement on his lap time, so that will bump him up the order, bucking the trend in terms of many drivers not being able to improve. Potentially Jack just not being able to get the most out of it, but we heard from Adam Nather, who's in the heavyweights. He used the kart tracks, the Rotax tracks system, to identify an area of improvement and then use it to improve. If I know the O'Neills and Jack O'Neill, who's Andy O'Neill's brother, if I know them well enough, they'll be using all the information available to them to improve. I'll go, and if he does finish top of this session, I'll ask him what happened there. And do you know what? Session has just finished. So Henry, you better stop chomping so I can go down and talk to these drivers. Jack O'Neill it was that's fastest. Dante Dillon second. Third, James King. Crawford was 4th. He was fastest this morning in their first qualifying. And then Jake Chapman, 5th over the line. Henry, I'm going to go and talk to some drivers.
I'm going to go and I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about why these drivers race. In seniors, they have businesses, they have jobs, they have other things they could do on weekends. I was in California recently, and I was taken as a guest to the Davis kart circuit in California, the home of the Blue Max Kart Club. And it's a throwback in terms of, it's a proper American version of Shennington, of Rissington in the UK. And I met a driver, 71 years old. He Jim Walsh, Gentleman Jim. He races in a class of pretty much his own. He races an F100 kart. He says, I'm 71. I served in Vietnam. I now want to spend my last years of being an athlete of any kind, I just want to spend it with my friends. And my friends are all at a kart track, and that is why it makes these people so special. Piers Pryor, speaking of special people, down to you, Piers.
Yes, Henry, down here once again. Thank you very much for running us through that at the end. Jack O'Neill in the black suit over there was our fastest driver. Jack O'Neill is a driver that I have raced against many times myself. He's continuing to smash around circuits and very, very fast. Jack, come have a chat. Fastest, and you improved your time by 2/10 as well. Good session for you.
Lovely stuff indeed. To be fair, it didn't feel like it. You know, when we're out there, it's sort of heating up now. The old tyres felt like ice on a hot summer's day. It was melting fast. Be happy.
Well, they say if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, clearly the heat helps you, Jack. Great session for you. You were absolutely rapid in practice this morning. I think you were fastest by a couple of tenths. First qualifying didn't seem to go your way.
No, I think it was one of those things, getting the right toe and just everything sort of working out at that right moment in time. That session obviously was a bit better as well, but like all these things, as you know, Piers, it's not about today, it's about tomorrow, and it's just being in that being in the mix. That's all that really matters. And then, you know, come the final day on Saturday, then we'll see, won't we?
Now I don't have a crystal ball, but what I do know is that I reckon it's going to be at least a 4 or 5 kart battle, maybe 10 for the lead. So maybe you'll be absolutely right, but being in that mix is definitely the place to be. You put yourself in a good position.
Absolutely agree. I think the lightweight category is so strong. You know, I think there's a dozen people that could win tomorrow, easily. And
I agree with you.
And it's all down to who's at the right point and right time. I think leading on the last lap won't be the best place to be if it's all a bunch of karts. So I think it's be a cracking race tomorrow.
Amazing, Jack. Congratulations. Good qualifying for you. We'll see how you get on tomorrow. Let's have a look at Group B, who are out there on circuit now.
Senior lightweight Group B qualifying 2. Tommy Lee, Tracy T69 asking. Have a huge shout out to Tommy Lee. Okay, ready? Tommy Lee! How huge was that? I had to move the microphone away just to stop other people getting deafened by that. But that was as huge a shout out as I could possibly do. There we go. Number 83 on your screen, Jin Hong Cheng, TRKC, Taiwan. Now again, not every country is quite there of the branding yet. This is still year 1. So and they're not franchises. They're simply national. They're national clubs. They're the national domestic clubs. And their championship is called the Taiwan Rotax Kart Club. China is the TRKC, China Rotax Kart Club. They're both here together, and in fact, the team manager of Chinese Taipei's Rotax Grand Finals team, he is actually racing in not this class. Oh yeah, he's in the senior heavies, and we'll get to that. But again, and this is our driver deliberately getting out of the way, letting that pack of karts go. Now, what this driver is going to do, like I said, Jin Hong Cheng, we just talked about him from Chinese Taipei, the island of Taiwan. We're going to see slightly different. Now, the guys from Taiwan, from Chinese Taipei, same as the guys from the UAE. Just because they don't race against huge grids and they haven't got the experience behind them, they will struggle a little bit coming here against drivers that have got. Saying to Abdullah Al Ali, I said, you know when you went out for first practice yesterday? He was like, yeah. First practice, isn't it? You just take it easy, get to know the circuit. He's nodding. I said, did that happen yesterday? He shook his head. I said, what did I tell you at the presentation evening? I said, you will go out for turn 1, lap 1 of practice 1, and there will be other drivers dive bombing you from 4 kart lengths back, not because they're crazy, well, no, because they're crazy, not because they're idiots, but because at this level, you cannot afford to take half a session off just to chill out and learn the track.
Can't afford to take a corner off.
No, you cannot afford. And that is where the drivers from the smaller nations come a cropper a little bit, because they're used to being able to take a session or 2 sessions at home at the national clubs, the national club races, to get themselves used to it. Not the case here. It's what makes this the best of the best.
Absolutely, Henry. You're right about that. And when we bring all of the best talent
Together.
in the Rotax Racing Club together, things are only turned up. Everything is, all the knobs are maxed out. The drivers want to win. Everyone's here to do the business and be the inaugural Rotax Racing Club finals winner.
No, exactly. You know, it's going to be. Oh no, not good helmet. Good helmet there, looking over his shoulder. Yes, this is where timestamp this 4:35 p.m. The moment that Piers Pryor said, "This is where you get your knobs maxed out." And he's quite right by that.
Absolutely.
This is where you turn your knob up to 11.
Absolutely.
You know, Spinal Tap styling. Now, the 99 kart, Rory O'Regan. Now this is another driver. This is Slepcevic. We had this discussion, didn't we? Yeah, Slepcevic.
Axel
Slepcevic, who is fastest at the moment. Alfie Slater, Owen Genman.
As if by magic, I was about to say Axel was P10 in the first qualifying of his group earlier on. That is about the lowest I've ever seen Axel on any back of a British University's Karting Championship field, scything his way through the field and then closing gaps to the leaders and taking podiums from positions he shouldn't otherwise do. He was also in the running for the BUKC heavyweight title for the Drivers' Championship and the Super Final. That was at this circuit in karts, very, very similar to these. So he's one to look out for, and he'll be hoping for a better qualifying too. And at the moment, things looking much better. A 10.6. He did a 10.7, so he's already improved his time.
10.686.
Yep. So that is an improvement of nearly a tenth of a second for Axel.
Okay, good stuff.
That puts him inside the top 10.
Alfie Slater, second. Alfie's another driver that struggled in qualifying number 1 in number 76 kart. Shyam Rugaber trains an awful lot in kart number 93. He said, you know, I've been saving. And I've been saving for cars. I was like, brilliant, so we've got 150 grand saved up, have you? He sort of looked at me and I said, you know, realistically, when they say the budget for the season is $80,000, that means $80,000 before you put a scratch on any of the panels they then have to replace.
Or decide that you need another set of tyres to go testing.
Yes.
And do you know what? This is actually an advantage that we haven't even touched yet on this format of racing. You pay your entry fee.
And you cannot spend any more money.
You literally cannot spend any more money.
You could do some pre-race testing, but not in these karts.
No, different karts. And of course, you have to pay to get here and then stay over, and that you have to factor that in. But there is no paid-for advantage. There literally, physically can be no
money
paid-for
cannot
advantage.
buy you success in this racing. Money cannot buy you success. It can buy you an entry fee for every single round, but that's not a great amount of money.
Yeah. There you go.
But once you're here, you know, well, unless you bribe an official, but they're not going to.
That doesn't happen. I think our officials are unbribable, Henry. But let's look at these three at the front of the field. We've got Rory O'Regan, chased hard at the moment by Fraser Brunton, and then our fastest driver, or was nearly fastest from one of the first sessions, of Sanders
Slepcevic going through,
as well.
Yep,
they
Sanders
are working together once again. Are we seeing any more improvements? Let's have a look, shall we? Not at this stage.
No, but you know, after one of the sessions earlier, there was a huge amount of chopping and changing in the overall order on that last lap.
There was. Yeah.
So you can't rule anything out. It's unlikely, but not impossible.
Absolutely. The old school dip there from the 44, and it works for Max Chapman. He moves his way up to third place. Harry Clark, second place, 10.7.01. Harry Clark, he is improving a lot. Yeah, he's improved by 10th as well. So he was 12th place in Group 2 earlier on Group B, Session 1 earlier. He's now improved his time, and he's up the order too. So there's actually, in the lightweights, towards the end of the afternoon, maybe the circuit plateaued, fell away, and it's coming back to the drivers as we see a few more starting to improve.
I mean, Rotax engines, they love the cool evening, early evening air. Any internal combustion engine loves that. When the air pressure changes slightly, the checkered flag is out. Owen Genman is P4. Let's have a look. This is the last lap of qualifying for the senior lights. And 46. That's Fraser Brunton. He will lead the way across the line. Brunton is 7th at the moment. He's getting help from Schlepsevich, who is fastest. He's not fastest anymore because just behind him, the number 44 kart of Max Chapman steals it on the line with a 1:10.683. Steals it by 3 thousandths of a second. 3 thousandths of a second. This may be quote-unquote rental karting. It's kart enthusiast. There was a dad, you can see him walking off there with a black bag on his shoulder, blue denim jacket. Now he's a parental enthusiast. We do have to keep, people out of pit lane unless it's only unofficial. But, but that's the beauty, because these are the global finals. But at the national level events, they're not like this. The pit, people can wander into the pit lane and give their driver a last bit of advice, but no advice is needed for Piers Pryor, who is down in pit lane right now.
I am, Henry. Let's back up and talk to our fastest driver of that session. I'm going to look for Max Chapman, who was fastest, but only 3 thousandths behind was Axel. Axel, not fastest, but only just not 3 thousandths. Max Chapman pipped you on the last lap, but improvement in time. That'll help your grid position.
Yeah, at least I improved. I think the conditions are definitely worse than the second one. You can tell.
Arguably, yeah, definitely worse.
Yeah, but at least I improved. I think I had a slightly better car in the second one as well, which is a bit unfortunate because I have a better car in the slower session, but it is what it is. I think there's a lot of time with the format we've got to make your way through the field in the heats and in the finals. So,
do you know what? It's quite funny. I was saying during that session that your signature, your speciality is scything your way through the fields and gapping to the front. So, a couple of positions down from a not great quality one. That'll be light work.
Yeah, and there are lots of places to overtake here as well, so yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Axel, good recession. Where's Max Chapman? Can you see him? Where's Max Chapman? Number 44. Can we see Max? I think Max has run away. Max is all the way down there. Let's wander on. We've still got a second or so, and we'll grab a word. Max Chapman, a driver that is very familiar with Club 100 karts and racing. Max, you pipped at the end 4 thousandths ahead of Axel Schlepsevich to go fastest. Do you know what time was that? No, not off the top of my head.
That's all right. Yeah, it was good. I mean, I was with Rory and that, and I managed to be able to just bump him around. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I think everyone's a bit slower now because the sun's come out and everyone's about 5 tenths off, so a bit frustrating because that car was pretty good. But oh well. I mean, I still think I start like 5th or 6th for tomorrow. So yeah,
happy with that. You can go from there.
Yeah, very happy. Yeah, I should be able to make my way forward towards first, hopefully.
We'll see. Max Chapman, your fastest driver in lightweight Group B, Session 2. That means heavyweight A and B are only up now, and heavyweight A, Group 2 are on circuit now. Let's see how they're getting on.
Thank you very much, Piers. Well, Sam Iddies, Sam Iddles, Miguel Hall, Patricio Barza. Again, the IPK Promotions Championship, the Rotax Racing Club Italy, effectively. They use TB kart chassis with Rotax engines. So Patricio Barza doing a great job of getting up to the front. Now, here we go. Terminologies. Here we go. Brad Philpott. I am paid by Rotax. And Rotax, this is we're not hobby racers. The question was, how do we describe the drivers? Now, their attitudes are professional. They are, they treat their bodies like professional athletes would to get to this stage. However, and we were discussing, well, are we calling them hobby karters? And no, because it is a hobby, but most hobbies like stamp collecting or coin collecting, you don't have to drive. They don't push you physically and mentally like karting. So
depends how many coins you've got, Henry.
Well, yeah, very true. So amateur racers, well, they're not getting paid, so they are effectively amateur racers, and no one's getting paid to be here. You're right. So these are the best of the best of Rotax Club drivers. They are more than enthusiasts. They do this at a very high level. But the people that this concept is aimed for aren't necessarily the drivers you're looking at on screen now, because they're the best of the best. But, the tens of thousands of racing enthusiasts who didn't
find karting early.
Yeah, no, it's I got knocked off my train of thought there by some utter drivel being posted in the line chat. No, but so we're not trying to do the enthusiast service. So yeah, the Rotax Club is for the enthusiast karter. The enthusiast karter that hasn't stepped into a kart yet, they watch the Formula One. They might like Drive to Survive. They go to work Monday to Friday. Well, this is now going to be the highest level of karting that person, that enthusiast, can do. If that enthusiast, starting at the very bottom, makes it all the way to this level, then that's great. But the chances are that this event is open to anyone who qualifies. You can't pay to be here. You have to earn this right. So all these drivers have earned their right, same with the grand finals, to be here. We're looking at the moment Joe Holmes leading the way in this session. You've earned your right to be here. But yeah, they are enthusiast racers. That is the term that the tens of thousands of people that we hope get into karting for the very first time because of this, because they're not dedicated racers. They just like, oh, this is good. I want to do something fun. I want to do something that pushes my boundaries, my physical, fitness, on my time during my time off of work. They're the enthusiasts we're talking about. How many of those make it this far eventually? Well, that remains to be seen, because in every Rotax National Club, there are drivers that you can't call, that they don't get paid. You can't call them amateurs. You can't call them hobbyists. They're just talented. So there we go.
Absolutely. We're looking at our fastest driver from the first qualifying for Group A. That is Jarrett King in the red suit there with his old school DRS, the lean forward. Now, Jarrett actually was one of our taller drivers, and that comes with a slight disadvantage in terms of aerodynamics. However, what he lacks in aerodynamics, he makes up for in commitment as we sort of bounce over the curbs through the island chicane.
Jarrett King, he's done his backing.
So his Siller.
Brad, he's done his Siller in. Brad, I was referring to these drivers as enthusiasts. Yes, I was. Some of them, 100%. Did you see Jarrett King's interview? How enthusiastic was that?
That might be the most enthusiastic man I've seen in a long time.
Exactly, that's enthusiasm personified. And watching, again, it's watching and waiting for his opportunity, that young driver by there. Number 51 on your screen. Going through there, number 51 in the lights.
Fastest at the moment is the 36 of Joe Holmes. Now, there's no betting on this, and I'm not a betting man, but if I wanted a safe bet, it would be to place a bet on seeing J. Holmes at the top of a timing tower at the end of at least a session during this weekend.
All is well with the world now that Joe Holmes has gone fastest.
This is multiple heavyweight Club 100 Rotax Racing Club UK champion, among other accolades as well. He's raced with I think it's a G3 team as well, and they've won multiple events and championships in endurance karting, and also another driver that has sampled the world of owner-driver racing and found his home in racing such as this.
Oh. Brad, yes. Well, I'll see you in the next video. Here we go. Yep. What is safe to say is that everybody here is just so enthusiastic to be here. They really, from the promoters, everyone's enthused about the future and how many new people we'll see in this sport because of these. Now, 2 minutes to go. There's a wobbly number plate. It's a wibbly-wobbly number plate on Alex Pritchard's. Weebles wobble, but they don't have their number plates fall off. Chasing Jarrett King. Jarrett King saying he's gutted because he can't do that. Can't bend his neck forwards. His back hurts so much. And he's about 7'12".
We're looking at Andy O'Neill there. He's currently second fastest in this session, only 200ths behind Joe Holmes, who is fastest. Joe Holmes, metronomic in terms of pace. His best lap of 1:11.113. His last lap of 1:11.129, only 100th slower. He's also just gone purple in the middle sector, so still pushing on.
Yes, indeed. Holmes, O'Neill, Pritchard, Vivier, Walker, Hall, Iddles, Bensley. Then Jarrett King. But Jarrett King, this is a smart... Well, if Jarrett King's back is hurting him, the rules... Now, he was fastest in Group 2.
Group 1.
Group 1.
Group A, qualifying 1.
Is he fastest overall or second fastest overall?
Jarrett King currently sits third fastest overall. It's Adam Nather, Kurt Holmes, who are in Group B, and then Jarrett King, who was fast in Group A. However, I think the circuit, we were talking in the previous lightweight session about the circuit maybe coming back to drivers. I would say the circuit is coming back a little bit because Joe Holmes has improved his time from this morning. He was 6th place in Group 1, Quali 1, 11.2. He's just done an 11.1 in this session. So another 10th and a bit quicker, and he's, again, lapping metronomically, only a 10th or so away from his fastest on that last one.
So close to the tyre barriers. On the outside coming into turn number 1.
Precision driving.
Precision driving. There's like 3 or 4 rows of tyres that have just been pushed back ever so slightly because we saw one driver clipping them and spinning, and earlier on. Those tyres are all sort of they've got the banding round them, have just moved back maybe 6 inches. Well, there's 6 more inches of race room.
That's free real estate.
Free real estate. If you're in that 6 inches, then your turn isn't quite as sharp. You carry more momentum. So it's amazing how some drivers can just find 6 inches quicker than others.
Jarrett King again, back on board. He's improving. That last lap was an improvement for him. He's 5th place in this session as we are finishing the final laps of Group A in senior heavyweights for their qualifying.
Yes, Piers Pryor will head down to pit lane as Andrew O'Neill has crossed the line. This group of drivers now, they're going through the flip-flop section. That's Seagrave, now through Seaman. Down the hill, up towards Wing Curve now. Last real corner on the circuit. Let the car open out through Farm, across the line. We wait. Joe Holmes is still fastest. Will any of those drivers beat Joe Holmes? The answer is no. Sam Iddles goes 4th fastest right at the end, but it's Holmes, O'Neill, Vivier, Iddles and Pritchard, your top 5. Well done, Jarrett King, bad back and all. 6th position, Kyle Walker. No, not that Kyle Walker, the footballer Kyle Walker, the karting Kyle Walker. 7th, Miguel Hall, Samuel Bensley and Patricio Barca. I have it on very good authority, ladies and gentlemen, that obviously Kyle Walker is also the name of a professional footballer, ex-England footballer. I am getting word that since this, you know, since this event was announced, that Kyle Walker is being the footballer is being. Many people are walking. I can't believe you qualified to race a go-kart at Silverstone, because that's the other Kyle Walker. They don't know that. There's a look at the start-finish straight, and we'll go down to Piers Pryor, who I believe is ready now. Take it away, Piers.
I will do, Henry, and I'll take it away with our fastest driver in heavyweight Group A qualifying 2, Joe Holmes. Joe, fastest lap, 1:11.1, an improvement on your time as well.
Yeah, I don't think I had the kart in the first one, to be honest. I wish I had that one in the first one. Could have been a different story, but to be honest, it's not the end of the world. We've got 3 races to get it to the front, so we should be okay.
You're in the main event for now. You'll be in the pack for the heats tomorrow morning. What do you expect from the racing tomorrow?
I think there's some people that are probably in positions that they shouldn't be in. Expect some white lining from lap 1 from various people. Yeah, it could be chaos or... yeah, I don't know.
It sounds like it could be entertaining from my perspective in the commentary box. Yeah. What about your perspective in the kart?
To be honest, I mean, there's no rewards for going out and winning your heat. If I can just make steady progress, I'm all right with that. I don't need to go for any hero stuff. Obviously, if I've got the kart to go win, then I will. But honestly, if I finish the heats in 3rd or something, I'm more than happy with that. I think so long as you start in that A final in the top 10, you've got a good chance.
A lot of racing laps tomorrow, Joe. You've got your head screwed on. You know what you're doing. We'll see how you get on tomorrow. Joe Holmes, fastest in Group A. Group B are on circuit, the last qualifying session of the day. Let's see how that ends.
Yes, the final qualifying session of the day. It's strange how time flies when you're having fun. 16 qualifying sessions. This is session number 16. Senior Heavies Group B qualifying 2. Who will end this historic day? And I do mean it's historic day. This is the very first official day of on-track activity for the Rotax Racing Club Finals, a global event. Let's make no bones about that. With the best of the best from all the national Rotax Racing clubs that there are currently, and the numbers of clubs will grow and grow and grow. I am sure that in years to come, we will never ever see a larger contingent of British drivers, because, you know, Britain got a lot of, you know, places in this event because they've got the most drivers, and, you know, it's a new concept, so we need to fill the grids. As more and more nations join the Rotax Racing Club family, then obviously they will have to have places, and that will come at the expense of some of the Britain's tickets, and the UK's tickets will just be the same as everyone else. You win this, you win that. You know, Club 100 run 11 championships now.
Yeah, I know.
You do realise that. So, yeah, this is obviously, there's a good smattering of international talent here. But, you know, it's going to be more than a smattering in years to come. Because
what comes after a smattering?
That's a very good question.
A lathering.
A lather. Oh, and a shellacking comes after a lathering.
Yeah, sure. We can go with that.
That's a proper. You get, you know, a shellacking. Yeah, give a proper shellacking. There we go. Let's have a look down.
Scott Parker, top of the field at the moment. Kurt Holmes has just popped in a lap as well. He's up to 3rd place. Runner Kurt was rapid in practice this morning. He was very quick.
Scott Parker, not long after getting sacked from managing Burnley.
Was he the one that went viral, where he did the post-race interview and then they played the streets in the background? Did you see that one? Sorry, it's a very niche reference. I don't know how to talk about this off camera.
But yeah, Scott Parker, sacked from Burnley as they got relegated at the Premier League, qualified. Oh no, that's Scott Parker, sorry.
This is the much faster Scott Parker.
The much faster. I mean, if that Scott Parker on our track managed Burnley, then Burnley would have finished 12th and sent Spurs down. Should be very nice. Anyway.
Any improvements, Henry? Not so many. People improving in the first sector, but not much more later in the lap. Anwar Burrell Smith, 8BS, pops up to 3rd place. Hayden Harris, our onboard camera holder, he's in 4th now.
Yeah, I mean, ABS, he got a bad break in session number 1. You know, didn't get the karts I think he deserves, but, you know.
Still popped it 4th though, didn't he?
He did indeed. Oh, there is the rooftop terrace. That's where the last 2 episodes of Bubba Draft, the Alpha Live podcast, that is exclusively available to Slipstream members. If you would like to watch more club level karting, then please subscribe to Alpha Live's Slipstream. I know it's a Rotax event, but we're on the Alpha Live YouTube channel. Man can cross promote.
Thank you, Henry. We're looking at the kart 28 making his way through shot there. That's Tim Penny. Tim Penny pushing hard.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Absolutely. Sawing away at the wheel a little bit, so clearly on the absolute ragged edge of grip and willing his Rotax Racing Club kart along as he heads through the little kink towards the penultimate corner. That's, isn't it, wing curve, the little kink as you head out of Seaman, and then into Wing, Museum Farm.
Yes. Wing curve, it's
a kink.
It's a kink, yes. Now there's number 20, again, really bright old school Alpine Stars race suit there. I think, oh, is that an Alpine? No, that's not. Should know the brand, I've got to deal with it. 26 is the number of that driver. That is Zach Cuff with the orange. Zach Cuff is down in 11th position. Good effort so far from Yi Chang Su. Yi Chang Su up into 12th position at the moment. Minghui Yi is 14th. Simon LaFlamme from Canada 15th. There's Greg Watt, 16th. Representing the UAE from Australia originally. Then we got Zach Marchand, Alistair Mingay from South Africa. My Rotax Grand Finals co-commentator, South African Kyle Lawrence. They host a podcast in South Africa called Commentator's Curse. And they're 9 episodes in, and they've just had their first lawsuit. They've said something.
Knowing Kyle,
a little
doesn't
bit
surprise me.
Well, they just spat some facts about the South African racing scene, karting scene, and somebody
took umbrage.
Probably one of the people that is the reason why the South African karting scene is not functioning at 100% right now. You look down there, South Africa, what a hotbed of racing talent that is.
Oh, God.
It's, but it's splintered and it's fractured at the moment. And yes, Commentator's Curse called out, I believe, that some of the people, and there we go.
Onboard cameraman, Hayden Harris, top of the field. He's currently sitting in first place, 11.2. His first session this morning, he did an 11.5, so a 3/10 improvement in this session for Hayden Harris. So I think you're right, Henry. I think as the sun is baking the circuit, but the air temperature is reducing, these Rotax engines are able to just produce that little bit more power, and then a combination of a few drivers finding their way, perfecting their line around this kart Silverstone circuit. A few drivers able to improve their time, sitting at the top of the field. That would put him comfortably inside the at least front half of his heat tomorrow if things stay as they are.
You make a great point. The track is still very hot. The tarmac is quite new. So there's not the oils coming through it that you get in a weathered surface. So a hot track is grippy here. Cool air, engine-like heat.
Yes.
You know?
Thermodynamics and ting.
Oh, yes. Yes. That's exactly what they say at Oxford University in the exam paper when they say that. It's, thermodynamics and ting, you know?
Exactly. So that's a bit of UK slang there for everyone who's watching worldwide. Apologies, we'll rein that in a little bit as the weekend goes on.
Oh, we're going to educate the masses.
Adam Nather just trying to tease to the is that Adam Nather? Yes, it is Adam Nather, our fastest driver from the first of the Group B heavyweight qualifying sessions. He did a 10.
Sorry, Piers. That was Mr. Harris there getting it almost crossed up and side. Well, he got it sideways, he got it crossed up, almost rotated.
Yeah.
Almost.
Nather was fastest. Actually, I didn't clock this during the session. Nather was fastest in Group B qualifying 1, the 10.787, but received a penalty. Probably cones or track limits. So therefore, he will get a one-place deduction. So he kind of needs another good qualifying just to give himself that peace of mind that he's got some laps on the board. Because if your fastest lap gets removed or you get reduced, penalties in qualifying is not what you want. Although, hearing from Joe Holmes, the more seasoned drivers are very much aware that while qualifying does set your weekend up well, there is a lot of racing tomorrow. How many minutes of racing? 10-minute heat, 12-minute pre-final, 15-minute final. That makes it 37 minutes of racing.
Yeah, well, it is plus one. It's 70 minutes plus 50 minutes plus. No, it's not, is it?
It's when the clock strikes 0, we go check a flag.
Oh, now that, see, I got to get used to that, and I got to say, I don't like that. But it's
you
the way it is.
You got to lump it, Henry.
You got to lump it, yeah. No, I'm used to it, so obviously, when the clock strikes 0, the next time by, you get the 1 lap to go.
Yeah, well, there is none of that tomorrow.
Okay.
So it's basically finish the lap you're on when the clock goes 0, but that's 37 minutes of racing tomorrow, which is a lot of racing, considering, as you've mentioned and we've spoken about today, Henry, 18 corners on this circuit, a roughly 1 minute lap time, so there's something like 33, 34 laps of racing throughout as we end this final session of the day. That means that there's at least 300 overtaking opportunities.
Yes, Harris, Data, ABS, Parker, Sills, Holmes, Rueda. The last time I looked at the timing and scoring screen, Fernando Rueda was 20th. That was an epic last couple of laps. Mikey Nichols, Henry Lopes Gracie, Alistair Mingay, Tim Penny, Peter Janowski, Zach Cuff, Simon Laflamme, Mike Filippo, Zach Marchand, Yi Chang Su, Ming Bru Yi, Stephen Westwood, and Greg Watt. Greg Watt, driver number 67. So the heavies, let's have a look. We have got, so the youngest driver, I am looking now, the youngest driver in senior heavies, Henry Lopez Gracie, 17 years old. The oldest driver in senior heavy is Tim Hill. He's 68 years young. And again, forgive me, I do not want to upset or offend people out there. We need to find, Rotax Racing Club's ethos. They want the 17-year-olds to race against the 68-year-olds on an equal playing field in an equal race. At what other level, or what other type of sport at this global level can a 17-year-old go head-to-head with a 68-year-old? Well, I don't know about 68 or 17, but I do know that Piers is down in the pits. One final time. Take it away, Piers.
The final time for today, but plenty more to come tomorrow. Let's chat to our fastest driver in Group B, qualifying 2 in the heavyweights, Hayden Harris, our onboard camera holder. Hayden's currently deep in conversation with Adam Nather, who was fastest in the first part of Group B qualifying. Hayden, I'll let you get your helmet off and then come and have a chat because you were fastest.
Oh, was I?
Come on.
Oh dear.
A bit like come this side for me. A bit like Adam Nather was confused and surprised. You yourself, Hayden Harris, 11.2, an improvement in time and also position.
Oh, not too bad.
Happy with that?
Yeah, that's what I needed. I know, I had the camera on.
Absolutely, so the camera's a good luck charm for you?
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, I would.
It was scary, that. It was scary with the camera.
How was it on circuit?
Oh, it was nice. It was nice to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably maybe a bit too hot, so the tyres were overheating at the end. But other than that, yeah, it was quite nice.
Yeah, but heat's nothing. Heat's nothing for you. Just a casual 300's clear. It's all good.
Oh, was it?
And also Adam Nather was second. So Adam, good.
Also, so it did work. Yeah.
When it come in, Adam, Adam.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, first in the first one, second in the second one. Pretty good day.
Yeah, it's going. I mean, the practice wasn't going as well, so now this is happening. It's pretty good. It was like first session felt like a good kart, but that one felt like we were on pace, like we were just doing things right. So yeah, pretty good.
All good. The toe still pretty strong around here.
Definitely. I mean, he was behind me most of the session, so like you could tell me if it helped or not. But yeah, it definitely feels pretty strong. I mean, it's a high-speed circuit. You got a long straight. It's going to be good. The toe.
3 long straights, haven't you? Really?
Oh yeah, 3. I can't count in my head.
Yeah. Anyway, Adam Nather was fastest this morning, or the first go. Hayden Harris fastest in the second go. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Racing coming up next. What do you reckon that's going to be like?
Oh, it's going to be scary. It's going to be fun though. You can't beat a bit of racing.
You guys have got a smile on your face. That's a good way to end the day.
Yeah, it's been a great day, great event so far. Really love the de-restricted engines. Like, I feel like they're both good for like kind of people who are a bit advanced, maybe the people in this championship. But I think for beginners as well, they'd be able to take to these pretty quick as well. So I think this is a massive improvement, to be honest.
Any more secret little tidbits from your track system between Quali 1 and Quali 2?
Bigger beard.
I mean, it is continually growing.
Exactly. So the more it goes, the quicker I'll go. That's
there we go. There we go. There you go, guys. You go and cool off, and we'll see how you get on tomorrow. That's it for racing action from my pits down here. We'll be having more of this tomorrow, except it will be even more emotion-fueled and dramatic, hopefully, because we've got plenty of racing coming tomorrow. I'll be down in the pits, but for now, I'll hand back up to Henry to just round out today's racing. Well, there's no racing, qualifying. There you go, Henry.
Thank you very much, Piers. The sun's not setting because it's a glorious day. It's a glorious day overhead. It's been a glorious day on the circuit. Yes, the qualifying sessions have been close, very exciting. They've shown the great level of talent that we have here at the Rotax Racing Club Finals. It's been glorious for lots of other reasons, however. This is just the beginning of a series, a group, a concept, a family, an extended family. Rotax are extending their karting family, our karting family, from only those with dreams of making it to Formula One, to those who dream of spending their weekends doing something that pushes their physical, mental, and sporting capabilities, but not their financial capabilities. There are lots of other rental championships, classes, series around the world. None of them will have the power, the bite, the structure, and the community that Rotax Racing Club have got. So for those of you who have watched today and those of you who are here at the circuit, you are the first official members of the biggest club in racing. This has been day one of the Rotax Racing Club Finals, and tomorrow 4 drivers become global karting champions. See you tomorrow.